I had to wait it out. Y'all saw the thumbnail. Can we now say that Bud Crawford is a Hall of Fame? What y'all think? But first, we're going to turn to welcome to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT. You refer to me as Miss T. As I say, I'm a whole couple of hours late, you guys. Had internet problems. Had to wait it out. Sorry for the inconvenience. So I ain't even going to be long, but I didn't want to waste what I wrote down and I want to speak about. So if you want to join in, you join in. But basically, I'm just going to talk. So we always do a water check at the beginning of the hour, and I'm at my usual. And water is important. If you're not a water drinker, at least twice a day you should be. First thing in the morning, before you do anything else, get up, chug you 8 ounces of water. Think of your body as an engine. The water is the lube. A lot of moving parts going on. Get that engine started for the day. Next time you should drink it is at night before you go to sleep, not when you're looking at TV, not when you're doing something else. You know what I'm saying? It's when you actually going to sleep. A lot of reads going on, recharging, rebooting, regenerating. Um, your system is cleaning out toxins, and the average person burns between 900 to 1,000 calories a night when they sleep. That's a good thing. But drinking water at night also is good for your heart. So please, please, please drink your water. You hear Boxing Fans Talk TV. We advocate for at least 100 ounces of water a day. At least y'all just work yourself up to that amount. I'm telling you, you'll see a difference. Anywho, a lot of went on this weekend. We had some good fights, but we had the International Boxing Hall of Fame, one of their ceremonies. My thumbnail said, "Can we now say that Bud is a Hall of Famer?" My answer is yes. I tell you, as always, why I say yes. But had the Hall of Fame thing going. Um, I would tell you we had inductees being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Um, here at Boxing Fans Talk TV, we do want to wish um, everybody the health and everything because it's a brutal sport. Um, but we also want to congratulate, say, well deserved to all the inductees. Congratulations. If you wasn't a legend before, you are now. And I just much respect to any boxer who lace up the gloves and get in the ring because this ain't nothing easy. This ain't for everybody. A lot of things these fighters go through just to get in that ring to make something happen. Whether you're a B level or C level, it still don't negate all the extra stuff you do. And matter of fact, you know how the military commercial said we do more before 6 a.m. than most people do all day. You know, you can laugh at that commercial, but it's true as a motherfucker in the military. That statement is motherfucking true. Whoever came up with it, shout outs to them. But I would say that can apply to boxers too. That road work first and foremost. That shit is a beast. Either you one of them nighttime runners or you an early morning runner. Ain't nobody running for the most part straight in the middle of the day, like doing their long distance road work. But shit. So if you do it the night before or you do it first thing in the morning, you do more before 6 a.m. than people do all day. Because as a boxer, I understand when you're starting off and you're a kid, get them up to at best 3 miles. No, but we really don't. A mile and a half or two as little kids. We try to do that much. But as a grown person being a boxer or a teenager that's up there in age, like close to 18, you're gonna have to start learning how to 8 miles, 6 miles, just to name a few, you know. I think Floyd ran about 8 for every fight. Most of his opponents probably ran like 5 or 4. That's just real talk. Sorry. Out of net. That's that motherfucker. So, you gotta get that road work in, and that's usually the first part of your workout of that day. You probably have 2 more different workouts that you do that day. Damn that again. But this Hall of Fame ceremony, they celebrated all in one. The last 3 years of the inductees making it into the legendary position. Make no mistake about it. They are all legends of the sport now. No matter how we ever felt about them, they are all legends of the sport at this point, being inducted into the Hall of Fame. And what you gonna say about that? You'll say documentation beats conversation. Because that's what they are. They legends. You have the likes of people like Floyd Mayweather, Andre Ward, Lights Out Tony, who else? Miguel Cotto, Ann Wolf, Layla Ali, Bernard Hopkins, Roy Jones Jr. We had some more. If I forgot your name, I apologize. We had some notable people. We had other women in there that I wasn't as familiar with. I'm familiar with Ann Wolf, Layla. Floyd, it got to Floyd. That's how big the ceremony is. And I personally think if you're a beginning boxer, at least if you're going to choose boxing as a career, then this is one of the first pilgrimages you should take. Because it's going to set the tone for your mindset in your career. We always talk about boxers nowadays who act like they in it for just the money. You know, maybe they should take a trip to that part of New York where I can't never pronounce Canastota. I hope I said it right. Take a trip to that place where the International Boxing Hall of Fame is and attend one of those ceremonies just to put everything in perspective. Because it's okay to be a boxer that only goes for the money. It's okay. But you have to time that just right. I don't think it's okay to do that shit in the beginning of your career. Get to see why these people voted them legends. Get to see memorialized in scripture or whatever their body of work and how people felt about them. You want your name to be up on that wall like theirs. You want their likeness to be just on display like those folks. But you got to be more about the money if that's what you want for your future, for your last hurrah. Once you make it to the Boxing Hall of Fame, it's kind of like graduating. It's as big as graduating high school or graduating college. It's that big. And this weekend, they didn't disappoint. And they couldn't do their usual for a couple of years. So 2020 class inductees, 2021 class inductees got caught up inadvertently in the COVID situation. So they're making it up to them. 2020, 21, and 22, that ceremony was for all three classes. Everybody got to get up and say something. I mean, this is what you live for. Like I said, it choked even Mayweather up. It choked him up. He was sitting there like, what the fuck? He couldn't say nothing. Layla Ali came up to give support to him, give him a hug. I understand Floyd, as a man, didn't want to be like, ooh, making the sound effects with the cry. He was trying to get it together, but I understand the cry nonetheless. So they lumped all three classes in together to make sure they paid homage. And homage was paid in full this weekend with the class. Now to my question. I saw it in the thumbnail. Can we now say Bud Crawford is a Hall of Famer? I ask you guys, can we now say it? My answer is yes. You can now say that Bud Crawford is a Hall of Famer. And why do I say it? Because he was obviously asked to be there. Let me start off right there. Bud Crawford was obviously asked to be there. Or else he would have been one of the spectators, like everybody else. There were active fighters there, inactive, retired. The whole gamut was there. And their positioning was spectator, except the inductees. For example, Bivol was there. Bivol is too young in his career to even worry about it right now. But he made that pilgrimage. He was there. And what did Bivol just do? He just did one of the most remarkable things in boxing today. He dethroned the king. That's right, I said he dethroned the king. Now, to me, Canelo was never the king. but the consensus had him as the king. And I recognize that. I got my own issues with Canelo, and my issues don't have to be y'all issues. But the consensus was that Canelo was the king. Bivol dismantled all that in one fell swoop. He beat the king. He knocked him off his perch. Because between him and Bud, they was either 1 and 2 in pound for pound list. Mostly everybody list. So he get knocked down. When you see the list today, you would think Bud lost something. If Bud and Canelo was 1 and 2 for the longest, Canelo get knocked down, so do Bud. Think that makes sense. But that's what has happened. Again, I try to keep a cool perspective on it. Because people's opinion, they have a right to their opinion. They can see it how they see it. I just don't get it. I don't get it. What Bud done lately to get knocked down? And no, I wouldn't put the two people like Alexander Usyk, or I wouldn't put whoever else over top of Bud on the pound for pound. That's what they did. D Young is in the building. He says, "Salute, Queen. Salute to you, King." I know I got a late start. Internet wasn't working. I didn't want to fail all this stuff I had written down for you guys. So I'm just coming out doing the video. He said Bud got Jermell Charlo wanting to fight him now. Talking about Jamal. I saw that interview he did with Brian Custer. I actually liked his interview. He comported himself well. I actually liked his interview. I was waiting for the bullshit. And Brian, you can't really fuck with Brian. I mean, Brian asked him some questions I'm sure he didn't want to answer or want to talk about. Probably want to snap. But I think the more we talk about their behavior, the more they listening and they trying. And I actually thought that the Brian Custer interview, that was a good interview. For Brian, of course, but for Charlo as well. He actually comported himself well. I'm not mad at anything that he said. Not one thing that he said. Whether it was favorable to Bud or not, it was the way he conducted himself. I give him an A+. What you think, Dion? I know you meant Jamal. I'll be trying to have what's that quick look that I can tell which one is which. I would say this, Jamal. Jamal doesn't have tattoos all over his neck. He don't have tattoos. And mostly he don't be looking like he upset. Like Jamal always look like he upset. Like something about to set off. He be looking like he a ticking time bomb. But Jamal, in that ring, he's a legend at this point. He's going to the Hall of Fame. Show. Young said, "Loose lips sink ships." He told the truth. Yeah. Well, I ain't watched the whole thing because I was like, let me get out here. So he didn't run from no questions. He said, what I picked up from it, he said Canelo not ducked him, but turned down the fight with him. The whole thing with Demetrius Andrade and them at 154. From what Demetrius Andrade said, somebody was orchestrating that, putting that deal together, but they never talked to them. So it's not like they knew that was on the horizon until the whole world knew. And they could have either took the deal or just been like, nah, but you can't just strong arm somebody into a deal. They negotiated all that shit, got it, everything set up and everything without ever talking to Demetrius Andrade or his father or his team. So if that's the case, went to Andrade, I wouldn't have showed up neither because you ain't do a deal with me. I don't know who you did the deal with. But you ain't do it with me. But when you said loose lips, D, which one you talking about? Which one of his statements? So back to this, like I'm saying, Bivol was there. Joe Smith Jr. was there. I'm talking about the International Boxing Hall of Fame. They were there as spectators. Joe about to come up on one of his biggest fights. Him and Better BF is gonna duke it out for the titles. Then the last person standing gonna be Bivol. ACO Golden, what's good? What's good? Bobby King. So neither one of them was part of the festivities. They was just spectators. So my question was, is Bud now a pay-per-view star? Can we say that? My answer was yes. And I was telling you, he was obviously asked to be there. Just because you're a famous boxer, that don't mean you get to sit up on the panel when they doing their ceremony. That don't mean you get to get your hand cast and all kinds of things they was doing with Bud. He was obviously invited to be there. And I looked up, why do they do the casting of the hands? You guys can Google it real easy. Golden said, another long day. Okay. KT said, you started mad late. I did. Can't beat the internet. The internet is undefeated. The internet wasn't up and running for some reason. I had to wait it out. Golden said, what's up, D Young? So, Bud was asked to be a part of the festivities. How do we know that? Because he got his hands cast for future references. I looked up what's up, how do they come up with who gets their hand cast? And it said they cast all inductees' hands. That has become a part of the ritual since the year of 1990. I'm sure Bud was a child, if he was even born, 1990. I think he would have been the child. So this rule ain't made up for Bud. This is what they do. They cast the hands of the inductees. That's how they got there. General Big Fish, what it do, King? Hey, what's up, Miss T? The Young said, what's good, Mr. Golden? I ain't gonna be long, y'all, but I did want to get this off my chest. It was a great weekend. So, like I said, I'm trying to find the explanation of why the HOF, the Hall of Fame, do a cast of the fighter's hand. What I came up with is that they do that to all their inductees. That's the answer. Now, sometimes there's rules that's written and explicit. And then there's rules that's not written that people assume. And something, when you make a law or a rule, you want to think about all kinds of scenarios that can happen. Because if the rule is they cast the hand of all their inductees, well, if Bud wasn't an inductee just yet, by virtue of the fact that he's still an active fighter, then why they cast his hand? Maybe they got wiggle room in that shit. But if they cast the hands of all the inductees, then suffice to say they know that Bud is pretty much a Hall of Famer. You can feel how you want to feel, say it how you want to say it. But Bud is a Hall of Famer. And see, this is what I glean looking at it. We don't got to speculate. We don't got to say he a future Hall of Famer. Bug will be, we ain't gotta talk like giving us the wiggle room, like maybe it won't happen. No, we can talk like it's going to happen. General Big Fish said, Miss T, Crawford is 48 years old. He should be going to the Hall of Fame. Okay, General Big Fish. Tay said Errol should be in the Hall of Fame. He's the best boxer. Oh, there you go, Tay. Hey, Mr. Golden, what's up, big bro? There you go to say Big Fish. There you go with that bullshit. Exactly. G Young said, Big Fish, you watching the game. So that's all I'm saying is by virtue of the fact that the International Boxing Hall of Fame invited Bud to be a part of the festivities and then turn around and cast his hand. Why would you cast a person's hand if you ain't for sure that they gonna be a Hall of Famer? Like I said, there are rules. If you look it up, it's gonna tell you he started this tradition in 1990, and we're casting the hand of our inductees. But Bud is still an active fighter, but you cast his hand. And Bud couldn't just come there and say, hey, what y'all doing? Can I get my hand cast too? That was by an invite. They had a little bucket for him with his name stamped on it. That was by invite. So I know that y'all have heard out there, folks saying if Bud was to retire today, y'all know y'all heard that. If Bud was to retire today, he will be in the Hall of Fame. He don't need Big Fish or whatever. So everybody here have heard Bud say that I don't need him for my legacy. If Bud was to retire today, he would be a Hall of Famer. You've heard me say it. Well, now we don't have to guess. We know that motherfucking shit is the truth. That you can take that to the bank when we say if Bud were to retire today. Big Fish said, D Young, I'm watching the ticker. I got Boston with a late comeback. Golden said, Big Fish just mad because his boy wasn't there and never will be. Golden said, not tonight, Big Fish. Hey, Golden, I like Terrence Crawford. I don't have an issue with that. Yeah. I hope nobody has an issue with that. Because I can big up Bud without putting Earl down. But the problem is, Earl's side, I'm sorry, Big Fish, so cliquish. If you pick him, if you pick him, you good. All is right with the world. Stars lined up. If you pick against him, all is bad. Either not black enough, something going on. The trader, it's bad juju. But nobody, a lot of these fans or some of these channels didn't feel that way when it comes to Bud. You are allowed to feel and see things how you see. Because I'm going to get into those famous boxers, retired boxers, Hall of Famers now. Oh, yeah, Antonio Tara was there too, I think. Like he went into I seen him up there. But I'm going to get into that and what they had to say concerning this fight. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to show y'all that it really is, and as honest as I can, it really do be the shit that Errol Spence and them do. They're the cliquish side. They're the instigator side. And it just, some things you just be like, would be better off him not just saying. He's not a big talker, Errol Spence. But god damn, sometimes he do stuff, you be like, why you even do that? Why you even say that? So General Big Fish said, drop the link, Miss T. My big bro Golden tripping. I'm going to drop it in a minute. I will get this off right quick first. I ain't gonna be long. Sir Ampo is in the building. He said, T, what up? Golden said, it's all love, little bro, but GS is going to win this one tonight. Wow, Miss T laugh a lot. No, I'm just hold tight. Cause I don't want to have y'all in the background. Look, my internet fucking up already. I just put the line in where I dropped the link. But anywho, let me hurry up and get through it. He said, Golden said he waiting on the link with Fish. She gonna get you. I'm gonna let y'all get at you attacking innocent people. No, I'm not attacking innocent people. What I'm talking about what was said there, but I just want to get that part out as far as about they did a cast of his hand. He is a Hall of Famer. What other way can you look at that? They don't just take casts of people's hand just to be taken cast of people's hand. The only thing that's stopping Bud Crawford from being a Hall of Famer right now, right today, is the fact that he's not retired. That's the only thing that's stopping that right now. So when we say that, some folks don't like that statement. I ain't saying that's you, Big Fish, or nobody else. The response have been, this is what they say, and I quote, so is Earl, even though it wasn't don't be an Earl fielded question or statement. Like if you say, oh, if Bud was to retire today, blah, 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 and they be like, so is Earl. That's normally the response. However, bringing up that Bud is a Hall of Famer is usually, and I'm going to keep it real, is usually a response to folks on Bud's side because they got in their feelings and they felt like that when folks be diminishing Bud's resume, laying down his accomplishments and his know-how, the bias of it all, like how, so Bud fans can get in their feelings, if you want to call it that, or feel a certain way. So they be like, man, look, we're not thinking about Earl Smith's resume and what he could do. Bud is a Hall of Famer right now. So just to prove the point that Bud is the goods, that damn good, done that well, because again, Bud side, they get in their feelings, and we be like, well, how y'all gonna downplay this boy resume? Talking about Bud or his accomplishments, because they do that a lot. So then we come with the, oh, he'll be retired, and that's kind of where that thing was born from. And we know notable past fighters at this Hall of Famer this weekend that put their thumb on the nail, on the scale to voice their opinion on the Bud and Spence pending matchup. People like Roy Jones, Paulie Malignaggi, Antonio Tara, even James Toney, and others. Because I heard Sugar Ray has something to say on the side too. So Earl has a problem with their assessment, to the point he said, fuck them all. Let me just say that again. Earl got a problem with James Toney, probably not Paulie's, but Roy Jones, Antonio Tarver, and all them. He got a problem. Ronald Finkley in the building was Poppy King. He has a problem. Did Earl get in his feelings? I thought y'all say men are not emotional. Are y'all gonna say he acting like a bitch? That's what y'all always say, when guys get in their feelings or, do soft shit or whatever. You'll be like, oh, he's acting like a bitch. Are y'all gonna say that? Is Earl acting like a bitch? Because he has a problem with those retired fighters who have certainly earned the right to speak on anything when they make their assessment. And when they making their assessment, guess who they sound like? A lot of us Bud fans. They do. So we can't be wrong. You talking about people who actually did it for a living. I could talk all day. I've coached it. I work with kids. I was in competition formerly, but with doing karate back when I was a child. I have many fights in my life, so I know all too well about fighting. I have not formally boxed in nobody's ring. But you talking about somebody like Roy Jones? Roy Jones don't have the know-with-all to speak on it. Paulie Malignaggi, no matter what we feel about him, he don't have the know-with-all. Antonio Tarver, James Lights Out Tony. We talking champions. We talking champions. Now, Earl might not saying fuck them all. Now, if he said fuck them all, he should specify. Because he said fuck them all. What do fuck them all mean? He's talking about all of them, right? But Paulie actually was siding with Earl. Ronald Finkley said, we're not playing with this sport. Respect to both gladiators. Indeed. That everybody hate Earl Spence. Earl is king and will beat Bud since he's a better boxer and since Bud is a flat-footed. See, Tay. Hey, you ain't gonna like what I'm gonna say. Stop the madness, all right? I'm too old for this shit. I'm just saying like that. I'm too old. You might not be too old, but most of us in here too old for that. General Big Fish and Ronald Finkley be stalking me. Laugh out loud. They said no link getting dropped. Yeah, it's gonna get dropped. Let me cook first. Let me cook. Ronald Finkley, you my brother at General Big Fish. I can't predict the future. General Big Fish said Bruce T. Bruce T. If you don't think Earl gonna win, you hate it. Simple. Yeah. They just haters. They hate Earl because he's better fighter. Ronald Finkley laughing. So, okay. Earl Smith's got a problem with it. Why? Could it be he feels they don't support him? That's number one. Number two, if they was 14 Spence, would it still be fuck them all? Because Paulie was with Team Spence. Is that emotional? What should they have said when the question was posed to them? Because it's not like they look for the nearest cameraman or interviewer and say, hey, interview me. I got something to say. I got something to talk about. I got something to say. It's not like they did that. The question was posed to them. And as I like how Antonio Tarver said, fuck it. I'm going to say it. Most people ain't going to say it. Since when do we get to a part in this sport where we can't even say what we want to say? As long as before any of us watching right now, before we were a twinkle in our dad's eye, boxers, commentators, novice, experts, casuals, people have been making predictions. And never do it get so toxic like it is. The point say, fuck them all. You know, you run the risk. You can say Sugar Ray Leonard is your favorite fighter. And that's what Earl Spence came out and said. But the type of person Earl Spence is, he probably should have waited to see which one of those old-time fighters thought that he was their favorite fighter. Then he could have said that, because Spence can't take constructive criticism. He cannot take it. And he considers everything a front when somebody can be making simple critiques, constructive criticism, just speculating. Something simple. Not one time did I ever hear Roy Jones, Antonio Tarver, James Toney, anybody at that Hall of Fame. There's no video clip of them saying disparaging marks about Earl Spence, talking about him like a dog, doing anything to him. At no time did that ever happen. In fact, they were very complimentary to me. They just assessed what they thought based on what they seen these two gentlemen do in the ring. That's it. And for that, they get the big fuck them all. Everything don't need a motherfucking response, Earl. You know, sometimes you feel like you gotta tell this nigga that everything don't need a response. You're not a big talker. You're a laid back, chill guy. And that's why a lot of people like you. I mean, They could like you if you was a talker, but that's not your way. But you take shit personal. You make things personal and you cliquish. Now, a lot of people, it's always, like I say, a lot of y'all guys on y'all channels be like, y'all, you acting like a bitch. But is cliquish shit bitchy? I wonder. Or is bitchy and Mitchy? I wonder. Everybody that been in grade school in this motherfucker know how it is, even just growing up in your neighborhood, how people get cliquish. I used to fucking hate cliquish. I walk to the store by myself. I'm standing here by myself. I ain't got me and my crew about to do nothing. Me. Want it with lean? Come get it. Think I'm soft? Squeeze me. That's just how I carried it. But he cliquish as a motherfucker. Bud is not cliquish. But that's not the reason why I pick Bud over him. It's actually got to do with their accomplishments or what they could do in the ring. That's why I pick. Y'all don't forget to hit the like button. Ronald Finkley said, I listened to a big boxing channel today. To think what they would talk about would be to all the legends' testimonies. But all I heard was hate, not fans of the warriors we witnessed over the years. Yeah, in the top of the hour, I gave a shout out to all of them. I said if they wasn't legends then, they legends now. Congratulations and well deserved to all the boxing inductees. And I thank God that they were able to get their pomp and circumstance, i.e., their parade and all the bells and whistles for them, considering 2 years straight. A lot of them didn't get all that because of COVID. To include Floyd Mayweather, he was 2021 inductee. Okay? C's is in the building. What's Papa King said, Big Fish. Ronald Finkley, what up, y'all? Ronald Finkley said, this is golden years of Hall of Fame and relevance to 2021. Said, C's, I'm good. I hope you as well. Said, that's what's up, fam. Salute to y'all. Ronald said, it's a lot of selfishness in America. Americanism is just a thing. Yeah, we do have something called Americanism. Y'all almost made me went back to my history mode. I gotta be careful because all of y'all will fall asleep. I love history, y'all. I'm one of them weird folks like that. My degree in history and politics. So, yeah, let me get off it because you said Americanism. I was about to write an essay on this bitch. But anywho, it's that emotional, how he feeling and shit. I didn't hear nothing negative. Just their assessment. They made sure to give him his props. They said he was credible, like he was a formidable opponent. They called him a top welterweight in the division, in the world. Now the era has shown his anger and his disdain. I said, let's see how his fans gonna carry it. Let's see how everybody else gonna carry it. And the Earl showed his anger. Fuck them all. Why is it fuck them all? Because they don't see that you have a lot of tools. Everybody be saying that shit. Only people who don't act like they can't see you got tools is your fans. They act like they can't see what's in front of them. Ronald Finkley said, "See, bro, we give absolutely no credit to any foreign fighter who comes here to fight. Like none." Klitschko was in there too. He made the Hall of Famer too. I don't think he showed up, but we know he wouldn't. I mean, he got that situation over there. But he was inducted too. He said that's cap at C. Loma got credit. Canelo got credit. Triple G, Klitschko. Anyway, Estrada, Chocolatito. Salute, Queen T. Salute to you, PGH. What's popping? All of y'all coming through. I was late because my internet wouldn't let me get on. Wasn't me. I couldn't get on. So I ain't want to wait till tomorrow because I was like, I started thinking about this stuff Sunday and how I was going to do the show today, yesterday actually. See, when did Loma Triple G exit the EXT get credit for fighting over here? What you meant by EXT? I must have missed that. Ronald said, best fighters of 2021, least close. It was like the mainstream media gives more credit to foreign than homegrown. Loma was put on the pound for pound list. His loss was erased. Stop it. But see, here's the thing, you guys. I don't know how they come up with their names, but my question at the top of the hour was, can we now say that Bud Crawford is a Hall of Famer? I'm so glad we ain't got to speculate on that. It is what it is. I don't see too many active fighters being invited to the ceremonies to get their hand cast. He wasn't just there and just to be there. And they said, oh, Bud Crawford is in the audience. Come on up here and let me cast your hand. And if you look up the explanation of why they cast hands, it'll tell you for all their inductees. And here's Bud, an active fighter who's not inducted, but they casting his hand. What that tell you? Is Miss T reaching? I don't think I'm reaching. Then you got the notables like Roy Jones Paulie, Antonio Tarver, James Toney, to name a few, come out and give their assessment on what happened with a fight between Bud and them, and fucking Earl getting his feelings. And y'all Earl fans, y'all gotta be true about this. He got in his feelings, and he said fuck them all. And I'm gonna tell you, like I said, everything don't. I put the link in the chat, but it don't know what's going on. But he don't have to respond to everything. Bud don't. When the YouTube channels was ragging the hell out of Bud, calling him top rank Toby. I mean, how fucked up can you be? Top rank Toby? You know, how on the low can you be? Cause you get motherfucking shit. Hold on, Tane, don't come in here with that bullshit. You get people like that be, downplaying him, basically calling him a slave and shit. And nobody said nothing about that. Bud never responded. He never said anything. You got people like, I'm reminded of Michael Irvin just not that long ago. That guy Jackson played basketball and be up on there with Brian Custer. They fucking had to be known where their bread is butter. Did you ever hear Bud say anything about them all? Never heard that shit. Because Bud don't respond to that. They can feel how they want. Michael Irvin was acting a plum fool. He was having a good time though. Bud never came back and said, fuck Michael Irvin. Okay, motherfucker. Never said nothing like that. And he could have. But time somebody just picked Bud, all they did was, they was like, I see Bud with his tools. And as far as I'm concerned, the gist of it is, Bud got a lot of tools in his bag that can give Spence a problem. I never seen Spence actuate anything other than what he do. He fight the same. I mean, these niggas who used to be boxers, used to be champions, they can't fucking say that. And Earl's response is fuck them all. Really? I'm done, y'all. Y'all can go ahead. We got Maceo in here and Tate on you. What you got on it? And don't come with that bullshit. Maceo dropped out. What happened, Maceo? Okay, you back in.
I'm right here.
Okay.
What I got that General Big Fish shit? He was talking all that shit in the damn chat.
General Big Fish don't want this to be true. Some of these things they don't want to be true because, like I said, why would they cast his hand if he's not a Hall of Famer?
Everybody know that boy going to the Hall of Fame. You feel what I'm saying? And like you said, They just don't want to admit the truth. Like they say, the truth will set you free. So he's setting all their
The
ass free.
only truth I know is that Errol Spence accomplished more than Bud.
Well, they got
Tay,
that
I
too,
know
too.
you hear me. I'm gonna knock Tay ass out. I told him stop coming with that shit. Tay, he too
Come on,
old
does
for
that
that,
make it
man.
more
Come on.
excited? Me pretending to be an Errol Spence fan. I
Hey,
was gonna get on here and
yeah,
start
we
crying.
kind of over that. Come on.
I was gonna get on here and be like, oh my god, why everybody ain't no Errol Spence?
Got some old
Why
folks in here,
everybody
Tay.
ain't no Errol? But
Yeah,
nah, I came on here because this nigga in the chat was like, oh my god, nobody respects people that came from foreign countries. That same reason is why HBO went under. They were trying to give everyone respect but American homegrown fighters. Like,
yes.
people respected Loma. Are you kidding me? He was on the #1 pound for pound list for 4 years. Juan Chocolatito, Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez was put ahead of Andre Ward on the pound for pound list after these motherfuckers told us, I'm sorry for cursing, but told us that the fight between Andre Ward and Kovalev was for #1 supremacy. And they juiced up Kovalev, talking about, oh, he better than Andre Ward and he'll beat Andre Ward. Andre Ward needs to stop calling out little Triple G and fight Kovalev. So this whole thing about nobody gives respect to foreign fighters is a bunch of bullshit. He's something like he motherfucking Jim Lampley or some shit. But that's so retarded, man.
Damn.
That is beyond asinine, in my opinion. Like, what?
I
Where
don't,
have you been? Have you been under a rock? People, there's so many Canelo fans running around because ESPN had that nigga #1 and remember, did they forget that they erased Lomachenko's loss and made that shit a draw? Did people forget that?
Some people did, Tay.
They must have, like, bro, that's why I hate this society right now. We live in a microwave society, bro, where everything is recency bias. People don't even look at people's past, you know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with Bud Crawford. They try to get rid of all his accomplishments below the smaller weights. What he did at 140 and 135. And they try to diminish all that stuff. And they only want to talk about 147. It's that same narrative, that same system that we have of thinking of recency bias. People are trying to say that Bud is flat-footed now. Like we forgot what he did in 135 and 140. And he's not even flat-footed at 147. But it's that
Never is
same
a
way of
flat-footed
thinking.
fighter.
Never is a
listen.
flat-footed fighter. They be lying. That's what Errol Spence fans say. They say he's flat-footed now. All of a sudden, Bud just became flat-footed. And then he cannot. And then they think that he will no longer be able to move. Like he just forgot how to move and stuff after the Postal fight. Like, it's just, man. These, like, man, bro. This world is crazy, man. I'm sorry for interrupting you, but yeah, I'll let you cook.
That's good. That's good, Tay. I like you better this way. Not that other bullshit. ACO, what you got on it?
Man, Lady T, man, I'm just listening to what Tay say. It is true. But my thing is, I don't see what there's so much of a hype on Lomo fucker. Lomo really ain't did shit.
Yeah, that's what
To,
I'm saying. And
to
they
me,
was making it like he was the
Lomo,
greatest thing of all time.
Lomo, he did so hyped up on Lomo for all what he did in the Olympus. If you was that good, you'd have left turn pro.
At
You see
4
what I'm saying?
fights, they put him.
You,
And
you
keep in
really,
mind, he was fighting boys.
Yeah.
He was a
I
grown
mean, shit.
man.
You really ain't did shit too much in a pro. You don't got your ass whooped twice, and they're still trying to say you can pound for pound, man. This and the bullshit. Come on, man. You got guys that been on that motherfucker got way better record than him, and they trying to make him out of something that he's not.
How did Bud drop in the pound for pound
I don't
as
know.
far as ESPN and a couple of other people? Because Canelo dropped. Man, that's the funny shit to me.
It's
Bud
not
and
that.
Canelo
It's
been
like
1 and 2
that.
forever.
He
As soon as
dropped.
Canelo dropped, huh?
He dropped because he not with them no more.
No.
Yes,
Yeah,
oh,
to me, they were trying to put everyone above Bud. First, it was Loma. They had him there for a while. Then when Loma lost, they're like, "Oh shoot, now let's put Canelo there." Now Canelo lost. Like, who are they gonna put Inoue #1 now? They're trying to. They have him second
Guess
now.
who the hell?
They're
Who?
really
he's
trying
over
to. I
them.
see.
He's
I
over
see the
Bud.
play. They really trying to put. If Bud loses to Errol Spence, I don't think he will. But if somehow he loses, they'll put Inoue at #1. Watch.
Somehow they got it.
He over Bud. Basically, you got some more. I'm gonna find out. Let's see.
Yo, what's up with y'all?
Yo, what's up?
Good,
What's
fam.
up, C's?
Hey, chilling. Hey, Tay, don't take my words and try to take one word out of it and switch it into something else, bro.
How did I take your words? Didn't you say that we hate
You
on people
said.
that aren't homegrown?
So go ahead, say.
That's
Tell me
cap.
what I said. Tell me what I said.
This is what you said. Let me go back to the comments. Exactly what you
No,
said.
no, no. Tell me what I said. You don't gotta
Because I
read
don't want to
anything.
mess up your comments. I said I can't
You
say it no
already
more.
did mess up my comment.
But this,
So
you
go
said
say
that
it
we
again.
don't give credit to people that come overseas. That's what you said.
Foreign fighters who come
Well,
here to fight. Like
oh,
how
so
we
fighters,
was
the
giving
same thing.
Devin
People who
Haney
come
all the
over
credit
here, we
for
don't give
going
them
to
credit.
Australia.
We don't give them credit. People that come over here and win, we don't give them credit. That's basically the same exact thing.
Listen to what I'm saying to you, bro.
Uh-huh.
Listen to what I'm saying. The foreign fighters who come to fight in America, I don't do you hear them getting credit saying, "Oh shit,
Yes.
Loma, he's the man for coming over here to fight in the U.S., man. He's the man for that." Do you hear Triple G? He came to fight in the U.S.,
Yes.
man. He's the man for that. That's
I mean,
what I'm
yes,
saying.
but we're also the fight capital.
I'm not talking about getting credit, bro.
And yes, I get a new way. People tell me, "Oh, the monster is coming. The monster's coming over here. Look what the new is gonna do. The monster's
He
coming."
fought over here one time, bro.
That's just something that came off the top of my head. Like I want me to really like.
I know, because you're talking to a real boxing fan. I know boxing. I follow boxing more than anything.
Okay.
So I'm gonna tell you now, he fought here once against Maloney, and he
Mm-hmm.
knocked him out.
People were hyped, right? Weren't they hyped? Ooh, he's coming over here to fight.
No.
They weren't hyped.
Listen to what you said. You said they were hyped. No one gave him credit for coming here. Okay, Devin Haney. Did we or did we not hear? Oh, he's going to Australia. He's going to Australia. He should get extra credit.
No, I think he was getting extra. Okay, I thought extra credit because
what I'm
people know
saying?
that in the past Australia has been, with the scorecards with Manny Pacquiao, they thought it's going to be rigged again.
Let me ask this. Let me cut through. Do you think C's and Tay that maybe their country is the one giving the credit? Because I know we here in America, we're saying that about our American. Do you think that maybe people in Ukraine is saying, or people wherever these foreign fighters come from is saying, give them credit, man. They went over there and took a big sacrifice and went to America. Think they doing it in their own country?
Probably, but I don't know. Like I would have to talk to people from there. I don't talk to anyone that's outside of the United States like that. I've heard like from a channel they were like, "Oh wow, he's gonna fight in America," but that was like an offhand comment by someone else who made a comment about someone else. So it's like that's like super hearsay. So I don't want to necessarily use that.
Yeah, I couldn't really hear what you said, Mr.
I said before in the past, I've had people.
No, not you, Tay. I was talking about Miss T.
What I was saying was simply, we did that for our American. Do you think they doing that for their countrymen? And they be like, "Oh man,
okay.
they taking the they taking
like
the sacrifice and coming over here."
Yeah, you're saying their people.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope they are. I hope they will.
They probably are.
Because guys, we only see what we have here in the States. We ain't studying other countries, seeing their day-to-day verbiage, what they think of their fighters that come out of their country. We seeing it a big deal. Because I had to revamp how I felt about the home cooking type shit. Because just like we can feel like them going to another country, like our fighter, like Devin Haney, we were worried about him being susceptible to some home cooking.
Mm-hmm.
We were really worried. And we can't help but worry because time and time again shows us we need to be worried. But do you think that when they come here, do they like countrymen be worried the same way? Because we a whole nother country. It's foreign to them too, And they can't they may think that all America is gonna be for America. They could think that. That's why I was saying, to y'all point about the credit thing. I think y'all talk about credit in different ways. I think Tay looking at it like we give him credit because he make Loma biggest.
Somebody static in bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think both of y'all looking at the credit in a different way. But see, you got it. You can go ahead and cook. The floor is yours, and then General Big Fish gonna come in. What else?
Yeah, I misinterpreted. I want to say something first. I misinterpreted what he said. I thought he was talking about credit, like you don't praise these guys that are over here, not just switching sides. But yeah, I do think probably we don't give enough credit even though I mean, I think sometimes we give these guys credit, but a lot of these foreign fighters come over here and they don't really necessarily get credit for just coming over here and fighting because it's just expected.
Yeah, I'm
because
sorry,
like,
Tay. I'm sorry, Tay.
Yeah.
Is somebody? I'm sorry.
Somebody eat
Is
nice or
anybody else hear
something.
that
General
static?
Big Fish, is that you?
Yo,
Are you
Hold up.
eating?
nah, I'm about to.
You
think it's
crunching,
Somebody
you
his
got
mic.
some.
stirring up your pot?
Somebody got some
I
static in
had to
there.
mute. My phone was
Anybody else
muted.
hear that static?
I think it's
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hear it too.
I think it's in Big Fish's shit. Hold up.
Hey, my phone was muted. I just came on, so that can't be me.
Hold on, I'm gonna try something.
Hold on.
When I
Okay.
muted you just now. Hold on, don't nobody do nothing. Hold on.
Because I could barely hear anybody.
They got a lot of static in
That's
there.
you, General
Hey,
Big
yo,
Fish.
Tay,
That's
it's all
you.
love, bro.
That's
So
you.
that's
Yeah, I
That's
me.
misinterpreted what you were kind of saying for a little bit because that was good. Because credit. It's just I thought you meant like people that were coming over here. But yeah,
That
I feel
General
like
Big
Yeah,
Fish with
sometimes
that
we
hair
no,
do
I'm
boogie
just
phone
give
saying,
tonight.
like,
those guys credit,
give
and
the
mm-hmm.
sometimes
same
we don't. It's
perspective
just like,
to foreigners to
but I
come
think
here,
to
like
me,
how we
it's
gave
like that's
Devin
what's
Haney
gonna
that.
happen. We're American people. We think that everyone should just come over here in general, because like we're the fight capital. We're where the biggest fights have happened, and we have all the best fighters. In my opinion, I mean not all the best fighters. We have majority of the best
No,
fighters
no, you're right.
that
We,
come over
we,
here.
we, first, this is where it's at.
Damn, fucking Boston losing.
Okay.
General Big Fish.
General Big Fish was good with you, King.
Yeah, see, that ain't me, Miss T. That's something else. Somebody else.
Hey, everybody else mute your mic because
That
either if
that
you tearing something up or moving papers, the mic is strong. That's all that you're
yeah,
picking up.
that sounds like
Picking up
somebody
the background.
crunching on something, Miss T.
Yeah, they sound like they eat nice.
Dang.
I
That's
know it
trouble.
ain't mine. I just had my mic mute, so I still could hear it.
Everybody mute your mic. General Big Fish got the flow.
Yeah, I'm about to mute mine.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
yeah,
General Big Fish.
yeah. I just commenting on the topic of the show, man. Yeah, Terrence Crawford is based on his accolades and not the hard work he done accumulated. He definitely should be a Hall of Famer. Whether he fight Earl Spence or not, nobody. I'm not mad at that. If somebody else is, then hey, that's them.
Damn, appreciate you, General.
Man,
Appreciate
Miss T, you starting to show me more and more. You like Mr. Golden. You might be a Bud buddy too.
you. Hey,
Hey,
I
Miss T,
told you I'm a Bud fan. Y'all
Miss
can
T,
never get what's up.
I'm about to go to the hospital.
What's up?
Goddamn Big Fish giving Crawford some dude, boy.
Man, I always give Crawford credit, Mr. Golden.
You said you
Big
gotta go
Fish
get your
giving,
head examined.
God damn. What?
I hear that sees Big Fish giving Crawford some credit. You gotta get your head examined.
Yeah, but I don't think it's based off his resume though. It's just off of the
Oh man, you can't take it back. You was doing good, Big
Okay, that ain't cool. That
Fish.
go to Big Fish. I know, goddamn.
Hey, mate,
I gotta make
I'm
sure he all
about to
right
go to
when
the
I'm on
hospital
that.
too. I'm about to go to
Huh?
the
Yeah.
hospital too and get Earl a bed reserved.
The Earl is being reserved. And what y'all think?
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta ask this question. The panel's open, but look, it's not Big Fish because he muted and I still hear it. So I'm telling you guys, your mic can be loud, or it's very sensitive. It picks up, little things. It don't even have to be near you. But it's you're moving papers or
I'm
you're doing something.
I'm I'm gonna step out and step back in. I know it's not me, but I'm gonna step back. I'll step out and step back in.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So Big Fish, you can't take back what you said.
nah, I stand on that.
Shit, that was
Hey,
the
But
Crawford
listen,
right there.
but hey, nah, I
Nah.
take that back, Miss T. If something changes, I will change my mind. You know that.
So why isn't
You had
Bud
the
in the Hall
right
of
to
Fame
change your
again?
mind, right?
Yeah,
a
there you
man
go.
of a considerable age, you got a right to change your mind. That's what I would say. I
Yeah,
would hit that Wendy Williams on you. I'm a woman of a considerable age. I have a right to change my mind.
yeah,
But
yeah,
but you know
but
what?
But I was tripping on that Hall of Fame until my man Mosquito Spray told me I didn't realize that they had a freeze on the induction ceremonies because of COVID. So I'm like, damn, why they putting all these cold ass fighters in at the same time? That's crazy. But that was an awesome experience to watch. Like them, most of my favorite fighters in the history of boxing, all in one
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah.
Like
That
I
was
love
an excellent class.
I love like Roy Jones was my absolute favorite. I
Oh
love
man,
James.
Roy Jones, man. Roy Jones just was man.
Yeah,
Listen, the Roy Jones prime. I don't see none of them beating him, man. In his prime,
Nobody.
man, nobody could have messed with Roy in his prime, man.
nah, yeah, he the most raw boxer I ever seen. Like not as far as fundamentals, but just
Or
raw
skill,
ability. Yeah, just raw
ability,
ability. Yeah,
man. That boy was an animal, man. I mean, Roy. I mean, shoot, Roy could have knocked you out in the blink of an eye. You sleep, but Roy gone. You know,
yeah.
but
But
shoot,
Roy Jones suffered in his career from like the same nitpicking I do with Terrence Crawford. He never really had top flight opponents to go up against
Who,
with the
Roy?
exception of James Toney, coming up early, and James Toney wasn't,
What
no
about B Hop?
household name.
What about B
I,
Hop? You don't give him
yeah, I'm
credit for
saying
that?
but like at the time, when he beat B Hop, B Hop wasn't really B Hop yet. So
That was still a tough fight.
yeah, it was a tough fight. I get that, but B Hop got better after that. Like that
yeah,
wasn't the same. Like that wasn't the B Hop that defended his belt 19, 20 times.
yeah.
That wasn't the same guy.
Yeah, I get what
I
you're
That
mean,
saying.
motherfucker was still in shape.
Roy.
That's still
To me, Roy was so much above everybody else, man. He just like it was just like he was just on another level, man. He just made them boys look easy, man.
Yeah, that's true. That is very
who
true.
could he? I don't know. I'm trying to think. Who could he really could have fought that was like
Nah, it was his weight class was just it wasn't nobody in it. He just was in the wrong weight class. That's why he had to go up to heavyweight and do all this stuff he did just to,
get some credit?
Damn, Big Fish, you might be right, but the boy done cut the lead down to 2.
Or
What you talking about? Ah, Boston when it
Boston,
came back.
man, it's a
Hey,
49-51.
hey, yeah,
I'm pissed
Mr.
off.
Golden.
I hate the Celtics.
I'm a super expert in basketball, man. So if you holler at my
Yeah,
man D Young, I've been telling every one of my predictions been spot on every game.
Me too. So
okay.
far, I had Celtics winning first. Then I had the Warriors. Then I had the Celtics. So I knew they were going to get that lead. Then I had the Warriors
But
coming back. I want the Warriors to win, but honestly, I picked the Celtics, man.
them boys done with cold
I
flat.
want
They
the
can't hit a
Warriors to
shot.
win so bad. I think Warriors are going to win 7, but I really want the Warriors to beat them in 6. I hate the Celtics because I hate their fan base.
But this is the first time, literally, I looked at a basketball game. I don't even look at the NBA no more.
Why not? Because Michael Jordan don't play.
Michael Jordan, man, I know I was a Michael Jordan fan, man. The
Okay,
best
you
player
know
in
I
the
was going to
NBA.
say I don't like
Who
Michael Jordan. I
just
think he
who
overrated.
just said that, man?
I
I know
did.
T,
I did,
who?
no, because that's my mom.
T.
That's my mom said. She's like, I don't watch basketball. My dad, my mom, and my uncle. I don't watch basketball anymore because Michael Jordan don't play. It's not the same.
The
Hey,
hell with Michael Jordan.
y'all
They
remember
sound like
when
a
the
bunch of old
76ers,
heads.
y'all remember when the 76ers went to the finals against the Lakers?
With
In that
A
first game,
with
Yeah, they
AI.
did.
Yeah,
I almost went into labor.
yeah.
After that, I was hollering so bad because I don't hate the Lakers, but I'm not the biggest Lakers fan. I don't even watch basketball no more. But around that time, I had to fall back. I was like, God damn, I almost went into labor.
Oh my god.
You went with a lady T.
Almost went into labor, boy,
Hey,
because I was
hey,
getting hyped and shit.
hey,
That was a good ass game.
that I don't know who said that about Michael Jordan. So
I did.
I'm assuming that you don't think Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball
No, I
player.
don't. Hell nah.
Who is it?
You know who it is? That nigga from Akron,
Oh
LeBron
yeah.
James.
Man, LeBron garbage.
Hey, nah,
How is
Mr. Golden,
LeBron
stop it,
garbage?
Mr. Golden.
Or
To
Bud
me,
Smack?
LeBron garbage.
LeBron is
LeBron
not
LeBron
play,
garbage.
garbage.
Or
LeBron play
Bum
for
Smack.
stinks.
Oh
To
my
me,
god. He beat
Kid
poverty
played for
teams in a
Stacks.
watered down expansion era. I don't give a shit about that. Who was his best comp? The pedophile named Karl Malone. That was his best person he beat.
Do you
Oh,
know?
talk Michael.
Do
Yeah,
you
Karl
know?
Malone, who's a
Man, you
pedophile
crazy?
and was a
Hey,
known playoff
Man,
you,
cheater.
Listen,
hey,
Michael had a
excuse me,
Hakeem was
sir.
Michael.
better. Hakeem was
Hey,
better
sir.
Huh?
than Karl
Excuse
Malone.
me. Excuse me, Miss T. Can I ask him a couple of questions about
Go ahead,
Michael
Yeah,
go
ask him a
Jordan?
ahead.
couple
Y'all
of
got the
questions.
floor.
Okay, you do realize a 40-year-old Michael Jordan played against Tracy McGrady, Kobe Bryant,
Who
Paul
did he win
Pierce.
against, and what did he do? I
No,
don't
no,
give a
no.
shit.
See, you don't.
What did he do? He averaged 22 on terrible
No,
efficiency. Oh my god!
and I never mind, Miss T. I'm not gonna talk about basketball with this guy. I
How?
know he.
No, tell me.
Nah.
Tell me
You
what.
got
Tell me
Tay,
what
Tay, you
the
gotta
you
let
Jordan.
him
not
get it
even
out.
open. You
I'll
not
let him
even open
talk.
to a discussion. You already just
Yeah, you
you
gotta
Okay,
let him.
interrupting and all
guess
that. So
what? Tell
I
me
ain't
what
even
is
about to
it?
go
What
there with
happened?
you. You
No,
One
what
good?
at a
happened?
time.
I
One at
know
a
it.
time,
How?
y'all.
Like, what are
You
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 gonna
don't
do?
even understand. We talking about individual talent. If you're
He's
40
an
years
amazing.
old, excuse. See, never mind. I'm done.
Hold on, Tay.
Nothing.
Let
I
me
was
say what you
gonna
got to
say
say,
he's
Tay.
an amazing player. I know that. Like, I'm
Hey,
being
you
bullshit
got
about like
Tay.
he's not actually
Tay,
that
Tay,
good.
Tay,
Tay, give it
Tay.
to Tay,
Gotta
give it
See,
let
to
him
say
no,
what you got to
finish.
say, man.
Miss T, what I was trying to tell the young man, he talking about a watered down era or whatever. So, which I don't agree with that, but I can respect it because I feel the same way about 70s and 60s basketball. That's
I don't count 60s and beyond
yeah. I
basketball.
don't count. I count 80 and up. That's me
I
personally.
don't.
Shit,
Because
you
But
like
crazy.
they played
but what
against
I'm
terrible
saying
compromise.
we talking about the greatest player of all time, but you want to
Uh-huh.
go to team things when he was with the
Mm,
Wizards. Okay, he played on one of the worst teams. Washington didn't have any talent.
yeah, no,
You
we
can't
suck.
He
win.
did.
You can't win by yourself. I don't care who you are. LeBron James. Look at what LeBron James did this year. He didn't have all his help was hurt. AD was
Yeah.
hurt all year, so his ass went home. Basketball is a team game as
Yep.
far as winning goes. But
Yep.
if you want to look at an individual
Uh-huh.
talent level, if you're going off of that, Michael
Yeah.
Jordan in Washington at times and nights it was dominating. T Mac, Vince Carter. He sent Kobe home crying. Kobe wouldn't talk to his
Yeah, I
teammates for
remember.
2 weeks.
Hmm.
Michael Jordan
Yep.
is the truth to me because he was handling these dudes one on one by himself as a 40-year-old man, 41-year-old man. He did it for two
Boston
Uh-huh.
just
years
went
in
up by 3,
Washington,
big
And,
fish.
cooking
yeah, I
them.
know. I saw that shit was out.
So if you put the 1990s and 80s Michael Jordan in this era, he would destroy these dudes, hands down.
And you don't think LeBron at age 40 would be putting up better or similar numbers to Michael Jordan? He's about to like what is he right now? He's played more seasons, I know.
Yeah,
Has more
LeBron.
minutes.
Hey, what I just told, I don't agree
Yeah,
with
yeah, yeah.
Michael Jordan. LeBron is my second favorite player of all time. I
I
love
got
LeBron James, but it's a difference.
what do you mean it's different?
LeBron
Explain.
is a complete all around like a souped up Scottie Pippen type of player. Like he is cold, but he is not Michael Jordan, bro.
How is he
I'm
not?
sorry. He's not.
I think he's
I got
better at more
examples.
teams. I think to me he's probably a top 3 passer of all time. He's a top 3 playmaker of all time. I'm gonna say he's a top. I know people are gonna hate. I think he's a top 5 scorer of all time. Defense wise, I think he's an outstanding defender, but it's just to me, I think the defense is going to be dominated by big men because, in my opinion, rim protecting is way, 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 way more valuable than you just sticking to a man. Because with rim protecting, in my opinion, you can change the whole entire game. You can change a whole entire team how they play the sport.
But
So that's
don't
why
you
when
know?
people hate on Rudy Gobert, I'm just like, you know what he does for that defense?
Do
Even though I know he's not the best defender. That's why to me, most of my best defenders of all time are just straight big men. Like Hakeem's number one,
and that's funny that
Timmy's
you're
number
saying that
two.
because all the best big men played in the 90s and the 80s. We don't even have big men. LeBron had to see
He
Tim
still
Duncan.
played Tim Duncan.
And what did Tim Duncan do to his ass?
He lost to him. But Tim Duncan beat him twice.
Yeah,
He beat him
okay.
twice.
Yeah,
And then
LeBron. Like
LeBron
I was
beat him.
saying, I hate arguing against LeBron because that's my guy. Like the
Nah,
Lakers.
but I mean, Tim Duncan is one like he's the best power forward of all time, and his teams are like in 2007 he had a way better team than Braun, And I thought
Yeah, that's what. Then
2014.
that's like what I was saying. It's a
Yeah,
team
that's why I
game.
don't.
That
That's why to keep it on. I don't really count championships. To me, that's a team statistics, a team accomplishment. So I don't really count chips. We argue in the goat
yeah,
debates because if
yeah,
we going off rings, then shit, Bill Russell the goat. But I don't count Bill Russell's rings. Or
yeah.
like look at Robert Horry. I think he has 7 rings, and he was like on the bench. You know what I'm saying, getting carried.
Bill Russell's skill set shows you he's not the GOAT. That's
Yeah,
it. Don't even matter how many he could have 20 rings. He still,
yeah. I don't.
yeah.
He played,
That
bro. He played against plumbers. Like I don't like, bro. Like, and they wouldn't even didn't they not for a time? No, that was after, but for a time and like during like I think it was early Kareem and Wilt's era, they wouldn't let people dunk anymore. I mean, that was in college. I'm sorry, but
Wilt was really a freak, though.
he
He
was
was a
really. I've
freak
seen
ass
some clips,
motherfucker,
but
man.
he was super inefficient. Have you looked up his like stats? Like he shot under like we harp on Russell Westbrook's efficiency, and Russell Westbrook is way more efficient than him, bro. He shot like under 44% every single season. He was just like chucking shots. But still, he's an amazing player. You see the talent there. He's a freak in nature. He averaged the most assists of all time for a big man, averaged
I
50
gotta
and
check that.
22. Like, god damn, like that's video game numbers. So I don't count that era. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Will is still a freak. He probably still would dominate like in certain areas. But I just don't know how good he would be since he played in that era, you know?
Shit,
yeah.
I think he'll dominate in any era.
I do too, but like to what extent though? You know what I'm saying? Like I think he'll still be a very good player, but will
So
he
so
be
so
like top
young
10?
man. So LeBron is number one. Who's two, three, four?
Jordan. But to me, if you say Jordan's better than LeBron, I'm not gonna like kill you. I think it's 1A and 1B. I think it's
They
really
gonna
close.
kill you for saying that shit,
Saying what that was like.
bro.
It's
There's no
LeBron
one
is
better
gonna
than Michael
blow.
Jordan, bro. I cannot believe I'm hearing this.
nah,
Yeah,
LeBron's better.
yeah.
Oh wow. All right,
It's
I can.
close though. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if you say Michael Jordan's better. It's just a preference thing. I like a person that's more all around that can do more things. He's a better floor
Okay.
raiser, and he can just
You
do
hey,
more things as a
you
basketball
know
player.
Michael Jordan first too. What is either his rookie year or second year? He played the point guard, right?
Yeah, and he stat padded. I can pull up articles where he was looking after every single quarter about what his stats were and fishing for stats. So I don't really like.
What
I
LeBron
can
don't
put up
pat
articles.
stats,
No, he don't
son?
stat pad like that. He's doing if you get mad at Russell Westbrook stat padding, like shit. If Braun wanted to, he could average a triple double,
If he wanted
average
to.
10 assists like he did when he was in what was he for
Hey,
the
Big
Lakers
Fish,
first
I'm with
season.
you. If Jordan played in today's game, he would be averaging like damn
And
near
Jordan played
40.
against the illegal defense. Basically, you couldn't. You know what that is, right?
And he played with hand
He playing
checking. Do
with
you know
hand
what
check,
that
bro.
is?
But you're
Jordan
still
played
versus
with the
person
hand
one on
check.
one. It's way easier to score on a person that's one, and that will also make his defense be better, right? He's able to hand check the person.
Hey,
Man,
Brown wouldn't
remember
have
I
to
was
do
just
that.
telling you that he played in Washington, right? So come
Yeah,
on.
I mean, yeah, but he
Yeah.
wasn't the same. But he wasn't the same. I mean,
Uh,
he had nights where he was very good, but
but
consistently,
I'm saying,
that's the
but I'm
difference.
just saying, use your imagination and put his young
I
body
still think he would still
in
be
that
very
defense.
good, but I still don't think he's better than LeBron.
Okay,
I
that's
think
fine. I
Jordan
LeBron
can't.
in
played
that
I,
when
era, he would
high
hey,
dominate.
scoring was
and
110 to
it's
1
okay for you to
107.
think that. I don't have a problem with you believing what you believe. We can't prove that. Uh,
And he
prove
got
that argument.
and
So.
Jordan gets way more foul like trips to the line wise. He averages way more free throws than LeBron James. Like Bron
Hey,
don't get calls
hey,
like
if you
that.
don't
Hey,
mind me asking,
People
how old
say
are you,
he's a
bro?
crybaby, but Bron really don't get calls like that. He's never had a season where he shot the ball from the free throw line more than ten
Gotta be in
times.
your mid
hey, are
early
you
20s.
familiar with the term hand checking?
Yeah, he still was able. Yeah, hand checking. Are you familiar with the term illegal defense? So like,
Yeah, but so
to me,
how
they
would you?
cancel each other out.
What if they allow hand checking in today's game? What you think? How would that affect the game?
There will probably be less. I would say there would be less points. Just the same rules now. Just adding hand checking, I feel like it would probably be harder for certain guys
You,
to score. But
you
if
know
we're also
you
going
know
to
who would
allow the
be.
illegal defense, where like a person like Kyrie can take you all by himself, do you know what he's doing to guards? If you put Kyrie by himself or Steph Curry and you say put them on an island and say cook, Like, bro, I think it's too skilled now for like you're gonna like even nowadays you have to trap Curry, bro. You have to box in one Curry. You can't box in one
If I
Batman.
would if Michael Jordan was allowed to hand check Steph Curry, it would be Steph Curry would be Steve Kerr.
No, I think he's an amazing defender, but nah, man, bro.
Man, do you know what a hand
Dude,
check
you
is? See,
gonna have to. Yes, I know
I'm
what
an
hand
old
checking is.
guy, so
I don't think you. How did you? Where do you rank Steph Curry all
Telling
time?
Big Fish.
Where do you
Telling.
rank
uh,
Steph Curry all time? I think Steph Curry's one of the best. Like Steph Curry's amazing, bro.
see, we talk about
Like
you said complete player, right?
yeah, LeBron's more. I
Do
mean,
you
yeah,
watch
I seen
what
that a while
teams?
ago.
Do you watch the game plans for the opposing teams against the Warriors? What do they
Yes,
always do?
they send two guys. They go over the screens. They try to get the ball as Curry's hands as fast as possible. I mean, you see it right now. He's going
On
over
the
all the
deep. No,
screens and
no.
double teaming them
Excuse
a
me.
lot.
You misunderstanding my question. I'm sorry.
What do you mean?
What does the offensive? What does the what is Boston doing to Curry when Boston has the
Ooh,
ball?
when Boston has the ball.
Yes.
You mean like so? What? So what is Curry doing on defense? That's what you're asking,
Yeah.
right?
So okay, I'll just say what I want to say. I'm sorry. For the past 4 years, when OKC started this, they would whoever Steph Curry is guarding,
Steph Curry's a better defender now.
they would try to hide Steph because Steph Curry is trash on defense.
He's not
That
trash anymore.
he
He
is
used to be
man,
trash.
just steals. Don't get this is
I
what's funny.
know he used to be, dude. I was one of the biggest Steph
He is
Curry haters.
still trash.
Steph
You are
Curry
not.
is
You must
not
not be
still
watching the
trash
finals.
based on what?
Steph Curry is a weak defender, so
He's
much
an
so
average
that
defender. He's
teams
a net zero defender. I mean, he's
they pick
average.
and roll until they get Steph Curry on
And do you know
the
what? The
player.
Cavs tried to do that, and and that's how they had really bad possessions in Game 7. They kept trying to hunt Curry, and they couldn't get the switches up, and they couldn't switch on time.
So
And
why
their
were they
offense
trying to hunt
evolved of
Curry?
we're just gonna try to
That's
get
the mean.
Curry in
That's the
that safe
answer I
space
need
and
you to
not score
ask.
for like
Why are
four
they
minutes
hunting
straight.
Curry? Because he's a weak defender.
But
So
yeah, he
all
used
I'm
to
saying
suck.
is that
He used to suck.
Curry is a A plus on offense
A
and
plus
a D
plus.
plus
No,
on
he's a
defense.
C.
Nah, he
He's
ain't
a
no
C
fucking
right
C.
now. He's a C right now. He's
Oh
a
my
C.
god.
He's a net negative. Literally, you can look up the stat. He's a net negative. That means he's not giving up more than he's. That means
Hey man, I don't get into all them the status you talking about. I
yeah,
see
he's a net
that
net.
that
He's a
boy
net
can't
zero.
guard. He can't guard a chair.
He
And
can guard
they
a
stick him on
chair.
the worst player on the court and try to hide him. He guards the wing. He guards
Yeah,
dudes
because
that
they're
sit in the
also trying to
corner.
preserve him. If he's going all out on defense, he's not going to be able to drop a crazy amount of points like he
See,
is
we didn't do
running
that to
around
Michael.
screens all the
Michael
time.
Jordan didn't do that. Kobe
Yeah, and
Bryant didn't do that.
I don't consider Curry on that same level. He's a phenomenal player, but he's not a Michael Jordan. He's not a LeBron. He's not a Kobe Bryant. He's not one of those cats. He's just not on that level. And I love Steph Curry, man. He's just not on their level. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? He's just not. He's just not, bro.
that's what I'm saying. If you added the
But
hand
on
check, I heard
offense,
you
we're talking
say
about
the illegal
offense wise.
defense. If you
Yeah,
add the
illegal defense
hand
will
check
help
to
Curry on
Curry,
offense.
he wouldn't be able to do nothing. He too little first off.
I mean, Mosey Bugs played in that era. I don't think he's too little.
Muggsy Bogues averaged about 5 a game too, so you
Yeah,
proved
but
my
he still
point.
played, and he's nowhere near the level of Steph Curry. Isaiah Thomas wasn't that big. He was a beast. Wasn't Isaiah Thomas like 6 feet,
Let me,
six
Isaiah,
let me
two?
get some of these
Isaiah
chats, y'all.
Thomas.
Let's get back to
Let
boxing,
me
man. I
get
know we're
some of
getting
these
off topic.
chats. Ronald Finkley said beating Spence makes him number one again. I don't mean to interrupt. I'm actually learning because I like basketball. When I almost went into labor, I had to take a hiatus, and it's been almost 21 years.
Yeah.
Ronald Finkley laughing. He says, "See, this is why I listen to General Big Fish. We not gonna get lullabied by Spence, so you know he is hard." Um, Ronald Finkley said, "War drum ready." And he said, I never seen nothing like this Hall of Fame class, the golden years. And then he said, Roy versus Glenn J. Now, Big Fish, I got to ask you this question. Because only you on this panel can answer this. Do you think that Earl Spence kind of overreacted or was in his feelings because Roy, Tarver, and James Toney made an assessment of who they think, what they think about the fight between him and Bud? They basically saying they was edging Bud out. You think
So
in
what
response
what
that
what did Spence say in response to that?
he said
I,
fuck
I
them
didn't-
all?
uh, um, I would say I would say yeah, more than likely he feeling some type of way probably, but hey, Roy Jones been saying that stuff, so
Yeah.
that's nothing new. That's not new news. But
But
that
go
was
ahead, I'm
like
sorry.
another subliminal right there, right?
On Roy's part,
Earl, the little cryptic response.
I hate
I
how he
think
does
I
that
think it's
shit.
in
Why he
bad
do
taste.
that?
I'm gonna ask Tay, why would think it's in bad taste, or you think he was overreaching or being in his feelings?
No, man, everybody needs to stop
I
hating
mean,
on
it
Spence,
sounds
bro.
like to me, well, he
Everybody
could
needs
he
to
could
stop
be in
hating
his
on
feelings,
Earl
but to
Spence.
me, it seemed like he's supposed to like. I think the implication is he's supposed to respect their opinion because they're Hall of Famers and all of that. I don't think that's necessarily the case. You show respect to people who show respect to you.
I mean,
Yeah,
I kind of get where he's coming from though. For him, it's like these they ain't with me, so f them, you know. So I'm
but
not
see,
so. But to
wait,
me,
I'm
what's
sorry.
more like his fan base is more of like in like they crying. They're like, oh, he the most hated boxer. Everybody hates Earl Spence. They're all acting like, oh, they all like sitting down there and crying. It's so annoying, bro. They act like he's a victim. Like they
But
just
see,
saying that another guy will win. Like
yeah,
don't get your panties in a twist. You know what I'm saying?
true that, because who better to speculate than former boxers? They have
But they
a different perspective on what goes on in that ring because they've been in there. None of us have, and we all are speculating. But Earl Spence, he gets upset. Damn, General Big Fish dropped out. Um, he gets upset. And I just feel like you shouldn't respond to everything. What about the countless in numbers of people who counted Bud out? Say his resume ain't shit. I've actually saw a thumbnail today. I didn't look at it that says Bud don't have no IQ. Something to that effect. And I was like, what? I didn't even look at it. I don't remember who it was or
I
whatever,
gotta
but
look
I didn't
that
even
up,
look at it.
man.
And then they have a right to put that on their thumbnail. But I'm like, how is that factual?
Because they aerosexuals. They hate Bud. They like to downplay Bud. You know what I'm saying? But to keep it, but I mean, for him, Errol Spence probably feels a certain type of way because these guys that he looked up to, probably, you know what I'm saying? He probably looked up to Roy Jones and Floyd Mayweather. He probably looked up to these cats.
Looked
So
up
in
to
his
Sugar Ray
eyes, it's
Leonard for
like,
sure.
these legends that I cared about, they hating on me. But I'm Errol Spence. I'm the big fish. I'm Moby Dick. You know what I'm saying? So he's doing a little sniffling. He probably getting home with his wife eating strawberries in the bed. Talk about why everybody hates me.
You got the
Everybody
strawberry
hates
oil.
on Spence. It's not everybody hates Chris. It's everybody hates on Spence now. Everybody hates Spence.
Yeah.
So he probably sitting up there and crying. But that's the kind of cat that Errol Spence is, man. You know what I'm saying? He emotional.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, you guys.
I
For
mean, not
anybody,
too.
I wanted to see how everybody take it because it's almost sacrilegious to say, to call it like I see it. To call
It is.
to call for anybody to say as long as you're agreeing with Earl, then you good. You got your black card, all the
Facts.
stars are lined up, and you're of sound mind and body. But the
Facts.
minute you say something different, now, like I said, they have a unique perspective that none of us got. And just so y'all know, speculation is one of America's oldest jobs. So that's what people do. They go on and speculate, you know, and that's all I saw them doing. Now Paulie was Team Spence about it. Paulie edged out Spence for it.
And
But
that
Roy and Tarver, they looking at the skill set that Bud has shown. Never mind making excuses and say, "Well, I wanted to show you this," so I was just only person that can really get away with that for real, is Floyd Mayweather. Floyd, like when he fought Connie, said, "I told you I would come forward and I would, do something opposite of what he said he do." Now,
To
did
me,
he do that? Yes, he did.
yeah, but Floyd is a different animal. To me, Floyd
Whole
is like
different now.
I would never bet against. I don't, bro. He's just too like Floyd is just too good at everything inside that ring. Just like you say, it may say, I think he's TB. I think he's the best ever. But
Yeah.
to me, it is. I totally agree with you, man. These people acting like if you vote for Bud or like Bud, root for him or anything like related to like Shakur, they act like you're not black anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'm just the C word. I'm black, so I know I can say it, but I don't like saying that word. If I vote for Bud, it's like all that stuff is done. Like it's almost like they like I'm a coon for not picking a black man to beat another black man. Like that don't make no sense. I'm rooting for a black man anyways, but I'm still not black enough because I'm rooting for another black man to beat a black man. Like that is crazy in my opinion. But that's
And
how they are.
that's how some people take it though. And his response is crazy to me. Like Bomac when Bomac had broke down the fight, because when these microphones get in folks' face, they asking the questions. It's not like if you can look at the person saying whatever they saying, and you can surmise that that person didn't hunt down the interviewer and said, "Hey, go ask me some questions." They didn't do that. Like the interviewer saw them, came up on them, posed the question. How do you get mad at somebody's assessment? Never once did I hear Roy, Paulie, Antonio, James, or anybody else say anything negative about Earl Spence. Not one time.
They didn't call him a drunk. They didn't
Yeah,
say he's this, he's that. They just say
yeah.
he will lose. And I think it's just simple as that. I don't believe Errol Spence will win. I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the only fighter that think 100% of the time you're going to be 100% right was Floyd and Mayweather since he never lost a fight in all of his whole career. You know what I'm saying? But like, it's just I just don't think Errol will win. But what if I want to hear what Paulie? I know Paulie's racist, but how did Paulie like break down the fight? What did he say? The keys that
Paulie
Errol was
said
gonna win.
Paulie was taking what Roy said because Roy and Tarver talked first. And Paulie basically was saying, Earl got that pressure. And he said, I've been watching this kid since the beginning because Paulie used to call him fights.
Yeah,
And he
yeah.
said, maybe I'm biased. He said, but I just don't see how somebody can overcome Earl. Now I'm giving y'all a breakdown why I think that Bud the fight, will win the fight. And I told you guys, I'm gonna read some of these chats because I'm kind of behind. Ronald Finkley said Devin Haney gave Camboso snap. Devin Haney gave Camboso a happy birthday. And
What's that mean?
I guess his birthday just passed. I don't know. Ronald Finkley said at Boxing Fans Talk TV, how's your day, Queen? I'm good. Our internet was sluggish today, y'all. That's why I came in late. I'll be back
No, I
regular
did
time
not.
tomorrow.
I
Ronald
think he
Finkley
means the
said,
mall.
y'all here?
I think he's talking about the wrong Charlo. He said Jamal. Jamal can't fight him.
Y'all hear Jamal Charlo wants to fight Crawford. No, Jamal said that. Jamal just had an excellent interview with
Wait, wait,
Brian
wait, wait,
Custer.
wait, 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 wait. Big Charlo said he wants to fight Crawford.
He said, I'll fight him.
Wait,
It wasn't
big
no
Charlo or little one.
Big Charlo. I'm telling you, he just
What
had an
the?
interview with Brian
He's so.
Custer.
No way he said that.
Listen, you got to go watch the interview because Brian brought up Crawford, and I like the interview. Jamal
He
was on
said
his
he
best
wants to
behavior.
fight Crawford.
I'm gonna give Jamal. I'm gonna praise him when they do good. That was a good interview. That was an
No, it's
interview
not. That's a
that
terrible
I could
interview.
take. It was a good interview.
That's a terrible. Why are you trying to fight a dude that's like 3 weight
He
classes under
not
you?
trying to. He was just how somebody throwing somebody in your face. Like fuck it, I'll fight his ass. Don't fight me.
Jamel or Big? Which one? Like the one
Big
that's at
Charlo.
154?
Big Charlo. I keep telling
160
you.
Charlo.
Yes.
Why would Brian Custer ask him if he wants to fight Crawford?
He didn't say that. You got to watch the interview. It's hard for me to explain. Brian Custer brought up Crawford. Jamal answered the question in a way that that don't make him look crazy.
To keep
And
it 100?
then he said, "Well, fuck it, I'll fight him. Come fight me." Like that shit.
Okay.
Nobody was taking it serious,
To
but he
keep it
was just
100,
saying, like, "Come fight me."
he'll probably duck Crawford. You know what I'm saying? If Crawford he probably would duck him, because Jamal is scared. Jamal's scared of Boo Boo. He's
Jamel,
scared of Jamel. No, what are we talking about? I'm saying both. I'm
Jamal,
saying I'm
Jamal.
talking about
Yeah,
Big Charlo. Big Charlo's scared of Boo Boo. He's scared of David Benavidez. He just wants to be a groupie for Canelo. He just waiting for his shot like he a groupie. You know how those girls stand outside the cars waiting for famous guys to come in and swoop them up. That is what Jamal Charlo is. He's a groupie. So I
Well,
don't really get
I mean,
explain it.
I would implore all of y'all to go look at that interview. Ronald Finkley said, if Spence lose on points, that's the best victory because
He is, bro.
they gonna cry, cry, cry. And then he
Yeah.
said, see, the thing about Crawford and Spence, we don't know yet is the skill set matchup.
Mhm.
We don't know how their skills gonna match against each other. If somebody mentions Spence being a drunk, they are automatic raccoons. Yeah. So we got Ronald Finkley in there. I think that's you. What you got
Yes,
on it, bro?
yes. How you doing today, Miss Boxing Fans Talk TV?
I'm good.
Um,
How are you?
I'm good. Just been hanging around the chat today. Enjoyed the beautiful weekend of the Hall of Fame. That right there was like I must have been commenting in every section the channels I don't even go to, but just because they had that footage, I felt like I was there from the fans' perspective, from the boxers' perspective. It was just beautiful to watch.
Mm.
It was beautiful
Yeah,
to
it
watch.
was the weekend. And at the top of the show, my question on the thumbnail, we ain't gonna be in here too much longer. I said, can we now say Bud is a Hall of Famer? Like talking about him like it's a done deal. Instead
He
of
already
talking like speculation, like no he going.
his
I
resume speaks
made
for himself. I mean, he
yeah.
beat
I'm
13 world champions, 3 division world champion, undisputed fighter. I mean, I know pound for pound list is super subjective, but he's been a pound for pound fighter for like dang near a lot of his career. I say, let's say half his career. So,
yep.
in my opinion, yeah, he was the best at each weight class. He was the best at 135. He was the best at 140, and we gonna see if he the best at 147. Hopefully, if he fights Errol Spence.
Yep.
What
You
you,
know
what
what?
you got on
And
the Ron?
I made this video. Like I don't make videos much, but when I do make videos, I made a video like a year and a half ago, and it was like a Hurricane Carter tribute to Terrence Crawford. That's how I feel they treat Terrence Crawford.
Mm-hmm.
They treat him like he's an exiled individual who's been imprisoned by his own. But not back then that was racist, but this is like by his own people. He's been in prison.
Mm-hmm.
He submitted his legendary status like a year and a half ago, a long time ago to me. I already knew he was going in the Hall of Fame. I already knew it because of how I watched how he fought all those people. And now he's getting the accolades for it. Like he's getting the praise for it, which is only right if you can't get people to fight him. Like they said, Jamal Charlo's calling him out now. How petty is that from the PBC side? Like how petty is that? Y'all won't let them fight the people they supposed to be matched up with, like UK fighters do. You see what I'm saying? Like it's all of this divide in America that's causing them to have that Hurricane Carter effect. You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It's
yeah, I
sad,
feel
really.
you.
It's sad
And
as fuck, really.
it's the way they talk about it. Because I've heard people say his black ass, and it's just the way they say it.
What they
And
call
let
it?
me tell you, I'm gonna say this, and people might get mad, but I can't be concerned about it because I wouldn't say it if I didn't see it with my own eyes and hear it with my own ears. There's a lot of black people out there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we talk about racism in America, we can all get on the same page. Because
Mm-hmm.
every black person eventually, if you haven't had it already, you're gonna get your moment. Y'all know what that is.
Yeah.
You're gonna get your moment. And
Yep.
when you get it, you're gonna be like, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna happen. You're not gonna
Yeah.
make it to 30 without getting it. So,
Yep.
in other words, you got a lot of black people who can get behind if you're talking about racism or from other groups or whatever towards blacks. But let's talk about the racism that blacks give each other.
It's
Okay.
crazy.
And it's on when I've heard somebody say his black ass or whatever, it's the way they said it. You know why I know it? Because I'm black and I've been through it my damn self. So I know the racism level against blacks in general. Black people, black boxers gotta understand there's money in fighting each other. And we can have good, healthy debates, good controversy or whatever. It was all fun, because sports is needed in any society. It's needed like you need water. You know what I'm saying? But this division, this the way it is. First of all, in my opinion, it's my opinion. Earl Spence is cliquish. He
What do you mean?
befalls click mentality. And anybody
Oh,
who grew up in the playground or went to school, you know what it is to have to deal with
yeah.
somebody in their clique. That's why I was saying earlier, I stand by myself. You know what I'm saying? But he clicked. So he leaves innuendos and he allude to certain things and he have responses like fuck them all. Why is it fuck them all? Because they didn't say you the best. They didn't say you was gonna win. Why is it fuck them all? These are real fighters who did it before you, who know better than us, who because we don't have experience in that ring, but they do. And they just talking about what they see. And his response is fuck them all.
Yeah.
And what you think his fan base and the people that rep him, what they gonna say?
Cult, not a fan base.
They ain't gonna even see no problem. When Bomac made an assessment no different than when Derek James do, you didn't see Crawford come back at Derek.
Nope.
You didn't see that.
All that switch hitting shit.
You know what I'm
man,
saying?
like,
All y'all out here, repping Earl and downgrading and calling Terrence top ranked Toby and shit.
The
that's what I was
ones
gonna
that
say. They called him a slave.
the
Remember
ones
that
that's calling him the ones that call people monkeys every day, they are the true monkeys.
What do you mean?
I hear it all the time. Like these people that we looked up to, who we thought were like real boxing channels, are really just bias channels. They don't
Yeah, me
have the
too,
sport. They don't have the sport in mind. They have basically the bias in mind. They don't care about all the people. They only care about themselves. They call each other monkey. They call people monkeys, bro. Who
They
does
call
that as
people
a black
monkeys.
man?
A black
Yeah,
man calling a black man monkey is terrible.
monkeys all day. That's what they do. They call you a monkey, but they black
That's
too.
crazy. And they
It's
black men, they
crazy.
call you monkeys. That's
It's
crazy.
crazy as hell,
But what
yo.
I would say to that is never give the enemy the tool to beat you. That's why
That's
I wouldn't say
crazy.
that. But I
Calling
mean,
another
I
black
know
man
why
monkey.
they saying it. They saying that they feel like some of the people are acting like monkeys, so they giving you the mirror. You know what I'm saying? That look in your face. But what I would say to that is never give the tool the enemy to beat you up with, because
Yeah.
once you start saying it and it's okay to say it, watch how loose it come off their tongue.
Yeah, it's gonna white people gonna want to say it more because it's like
Long as
shoot,
they
you
don't say it
saying
to
it.
me, they all
Why
right.
can I
They
say
can
it?
say it to each other, but long as they don't say it to me,
Oh,
that's
you
all
know
that
it's
matters.
coming. Because
They gonna
you
they
got
Nah.
gonna
white
want.
people that want to say nigga.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, because that's what. Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. I don't think we should call each other monkeys. I don't think we should call each other names like that. Top rank Toby is a slave, like saying that he a slave. Like that's
There's
some
that too.
boo boo. That's some crazy stuff, man. That's just black on black hate.
But
People
but
gonna have their
again,
opinions.
I don't knock nobody for how they do whatever they do. I'm just saying for me, like I could not like somebody, but no person can come and solicit me to help them put my boot on the neck of a black person or beat a black person down.
Yeah,
And at the same time, you got some crazy black folks out there. You got some people that talk out the side of their neck and need to get checked on spot. So I'll handle cases like that individually. But
yeah,
I can't give nobody no tool that they could turn around and use on us collectively. And I'm not knocking the channels who say that. Really not
Yeah.
knocking them. I'm just saying from my perspective, I wouldn't say it because I know for a fact experience is a good teacher. And I know for a fact that eventually somebody watching it that's not black and they're gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna do it too.
All
And
right.
to
This
that
is the
person that
Can you
Mhm.
drop the channel in the chat? Like, don't speak it out loud.
I
Now,
don't care. I don't care to say their name, but I'm gonna respect Boxer Fans Talk TV because she know I am. I ain't got no problem with saying it.
yeah.
I
But
wanted to see who these
think
people
about it
were.
like this. Think about what's your
Maybe
name,
I'm
buddy?
subscribed to them. My name is Tay.
Tay. Oh yeah, I seen you in chat. Think about it like this. When you look at like the fan base and you think about like who want to watch your fights, I was expecting to see from a big channel that was a pro-black channel today talk about how good the Hall of Fame was this weekend, like because they're a big channel. I was thinking it was going to be a positive, but they
Nope.
made it like into the small little menial thing about a fucking who win a fight over what they saw about the Hall of Fame. So how is the sport going to grow if you don't even speak good about the sport?
To say that again, they were talking about Errol Spence versus Crawford instead
Yeah,
of
they was talking about how I guess the fighters, because I don't watch them at all
hate
hardly,
on
but I
Errol
decided to
Spence.
watch them today because I watched so much good content about the Hall of Fame this weekend. But all you hear from them is talking about how the fighters was going for Crawford over Spence and
Is
how they
that
felt like, yeah,
is that the Trill Boxing or is that?
yeah, the True Boxing Talk Show. Yeah,
Yeah. I saw the title and I was like, I'm not watching that shit,
Y'all,
I
buddy.
y'all can
turned it off.
y'all can
I
put it
turned
in
it off
private
after
chat.
that.
Y'all can put it
Well,
in
yeah,
private chat. That way y'all
Yeah,
know. Like you can, like both you or Ron,
yeah.
y'all
I
can
still
put
like
some
the
in
channel.
private chat.
I'm subscribed, so I know like I'm not gonna hate on them too hard because I mean I disagree with a lot of their stuff, but that but I still subscribe to them because they are they look like me and I'm gonna support still.
Yeah, show your black love. Whether you like somebody or not, just hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to grow my channel, trying to get some extra subscribers. Again, I came in late today, y'all. That won't happen tomorrow. I hope my internet
at
wasn't
least you don't
working.
have at least you don't have trolls over here. Boxing Fans Talk TV, like white people coming in your chat
Yeah,
disrespecting you or anything like that, because that's a big thing in boxing channel. Like for people not to come on your channel and try to destroy your channel, but you talk good, so why would they come over here?
exactly. Like you gotta to get into some drama, it gotta be a two-way street. And I
Yeah,
refuse. But I will call balls and strikes. I just think the cliquish stuff that Earl do is not serving him well. I also think that every you don't have to do a response to everything. That's what I would say to Earl. You ain't got to respond to everything. Even Big Fish said that was a bridge too far. Kind of, he didn't say it like that, but he was that Earl was in his feelings or whatever. Because just because you like somebody, that don't mean they'll like you. Now, maybe the type of person Earl is, he should wait around to see if he's like instead of like he picked Sugar Ray Leonard as his favorite fighter, but Sugar Ray Leonard be picking against him. So maybe he should have waited to see if Sugar Ray Leonard was think of Earl as his favorite young fighter, and then Earl come out and say what how he feel about certain people because he seemed to can't take destructive criticism. Like I said, when Bomac gave his assessment, somebody asked him a question. Now y'all want to say he undefeated at McDonald's and make all these memes and stuff. All Earl got to do is allude to something, and his fans would take it from there. He put an innuendo out, and his fans would take it from there. So in that way, to me, Earl has some kind of culpability. He has some sort of responsibility because he know what's gonna happen. And to say fuck them all, like I'm not even mad when I say this. I'm just reporting to y'all my assessment of the fuck them all. They didn't say nothing bad about you, Earl. In fact, they gave you compliments and respected you. I didn't get what the fuck them all for. I mean, you do fight one way. Now, fortunate for you, your way, Earl's way beats a lot of motherfuckers. That's what makes him great. But can his way beat Terrence? And I already said with the keys to victory what I think. But those fighters know better than me. They know way more than me. They got way more experience. They're gonna do what they need to do. But in my opinion, y'all tell me what y'all think. I think Earl Spence, Laura, and there's a couple of fighters like him. They what I call break riders. They hover, meaning they're always in position to sit down on their punch. They kind of halfway not sitting down, but they sitting down. So when they start their barrage, that should be meaningful, more meaningful. Or got teeth. What you have to do is what Jared Hurd did. Jared Hurd did not let Irislandy Lara set in his stance. You take away Earl Spence's stance, you take away Laura's stance, you fucks them up because they wouldn't know what to do. What y'all think about that?
that was a beautiful fight. Earth Mandy Law versus Jared Hurd. I saw that Laura Like what did you just say about like the stance? Because I felt like Laura got roped into a toe to toe fight.
Right. Laura got one of the best stance in boxing. There's quite a few boxers out there that you can look at and be like, because when I used to coach, it's all about your stance. Even when I used to take karate, it was always about your stance. If somebody don't have the proper stance, meaning, with boxing 101, if you ain't got the legs or the foot placement, you might as well not be a boxer. Period. I don't care how fast you throw your hands. I don't care how hard you hit. It is really all about your legs. So when you about your stance, um, like when I used to formally compete in karate, if somebody was not in the proper stance, I will fuck their ass up. That is
Yeah,
one of the things I'm looking for. And as we moving around, I'm not gonna let you get in your stance. Because if you get in your stance, you'll sit down and you'll throw your kicks. You'll kick up your roundhouse, your front kick. You'll do all that. But if I don't let you get in the stance, how you gonna do that to me?
they fought at
So
154 too, right?
Laura did. Yeah, I think he did. I
Against
think
her,
he.
against
Yeah.
her.
Well, yeah, he did fight at 154, or was it? Yeah, 160. One of
No,
them.
I think it was 154 because
154.
they were younger then. I think. Tay,
But
you
yeah,
remember
this
that
was some
fight?
years ago.
Yeah, I
When
remember that
when
fight.
Laura first came out, he was at 147. I don't know if y'all remember that.
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
remember him
yeah.
being at 147, and I used to like him. I used to like him, but then you know what made me not really like Laura is as he fights, if he feel like you getting the better of him, he'll cheat. He'll cheat, and I just can't stand people who don't have a regard for others. Like you come in there to box, you ain't want to come in there and go out of Cyclops. You went in with two eyes, now you got to come out with one. Y'all remember that fight between Laura and Angula? He purposely thumbed him. And Gula was beating his ass up until that point, and he purposely thumbed him. And I've seen Laura do that, hit you where you ain't supposed to get hit. But Laura halfway, he ride the brakes. He get in his stance. His feet are perfectly spread apart, and he will one to you, move to the
Yeah.
left. One to you, move to the left. But what did Jared Hurd did? Jared ain't let him move to the left. Jared was on his ass like white on rice. He could not get his proper stance. Therefore, he could not sit on his punches and hit you.
Man, they look like I just know that Laura at the end of that fight, because I think they went 12 rounds, and man, he was lumped up really bad. Laura was lumped up really bad, but Hurd was lumped up really bad too. Even though Laura lost that fight, Hurd was lumped up bad too. So it was like a rock'em sock'em fight to me.
But yeah, but her problem is he take too many hits. He don't give a fuck. He just walking through stuff, not understanding that you can do that shit when you're young. It's like
Yeah.
how I tell y'all about Benavidez. Benavidez is awesome. He's 25. Let me see the
Hmm.
Benavidez at 30. You already see how his brother waning. His brother was
Yeah.
awesome in his day. They're not complete boxers at all. They're fighters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Period.
Laura just Benavidez just a come forward fighter. He'll punch you and he'll just keep punching you as you come forward. Like, yeah, he's not really like a back foot fighter. I never seen him on his back foot. Always seen him
Now
like
he
just
squares up. They both.
yeah,
They
yeah.
square up like crazy. He got power, Benavidez, and he can take a punch. And that's his
Hmm.
credit. Now, what happens when you meet a person who got power and can take a punch too, but they got boxing skills? What you gonna do then? And they
Hey,
got crack in their hands. They got power.
that was a DC fight too. Laura versus Hurd. That was a DC fight. They fought at I think at the new stadium, right? The Redstone Stadium or something.
The old RFK.
Yeah, I think it was RFK. Yeah, I used to work there when I was a kid.
Are you
None
from
of the type
DC?
shit.
I used to live up there.
Yeah, I'm from South. Well, I grew up in Southeast DC. I'm from Atlantic City, but I
Oh
grew up
shit!
in
I used to
DC.
hang in Southeast. That's where all the good food
Yeah.
at.
First Street South Capitol. I was right near Cherry's Go Go. I used to live right near
Oh
Cherry's
shit!
Go Go. I'm
I used to hit up
Southeast.
all the go-go clubs. My favorite one was on Naylor Road off of Suitland Parkway.
Yup. Yup. I
Yeah.
forgot the name of that one. Damn, what was the name of that
Um,
one?
I
I know
can't
it's Suitland
remember.
Parkway.
It wasn't the Abex. I just knew Naylor Road.
That's over there the skate ring was at too, right? The skate ring was over there, I think.
Oh no, I never been to the skating ring.
You never
But
been to
then
that
I would
skating
go
ring over there?
to hmm?
You never been to that skating ring over there on Suitland Road near Potomac Mall or whatever the name of that mall was? Was
Nah,
it
you know what?
Potomac Mall?
I'm one of the black people that don't know how to skate that good.
Iverson Mall. You know Iverson Mall?
Yeah, I remember that.
It was right near Iverson Mall. That's where the skating ring was. But they, like you said, they had like a club over that way too. I just don't remember the
I
name
would go to these my clubs, all the go-go clubs, wherever they could be. I didn't make it to the. I don't know if I made it to the Abex. I might have, but Club U and Gators or something off of Route One.
Okay. Yeah,
I
Route
was
One. Yeah, I remember Route One.
That's in my days when I was at the club every weekend, y'all. Club C, I think it's that one that was in front of Andrews.
Oh, Air
Club,
Force Base.
yeah, it was a Club C or something like that. I used to
Yeah,
go
there's
to
a
that
few
one too.
clubs. Yeah.
The Naylor Road, man, they was some weed smoking asses over there.
Oh man, they just had the Go Go at the hotel there, the Ramada Inn. Remember that one?
Nah,
In
I was in the
Oxnard.
look. I was in the military. I was trying to partake in as much of DC as I could, but I was pretty busy.
Yeah,
I worked at
those were
Office
the
of Naval
days.
Intelligence.
I lived in DC. I might have gotten. I went to high school. I grew up in DC, but I never got in trouble in DC. I always like that's the worst place to live. But like as far as like you can get in some shit around the corner, but I never got locked up in DC.
And you know, I was there when they was rolling.
Yeah,
But shit,
exactly,
they was shooting
exactly,
cops. I was like, y'all killing
exactly.
cops around this bitch.
Yeah, the snipers and all types of crazy.
Yeah. The sniper, I
Yeah,
was back in Virginia. I remember
yeah,
that shit. I was like, man, they killing motherfucking niggas, man. When we
yeah,
found out it was a black dude, we was like, what the fuck?
yeah.
Everybody was like,
Exactly.
what? And the whole thing was because he was gonna kill his wife. So he was throwing the scent off by acting like the sniper. So when he killed her, he was gonna act like it was the sniper. He felt like it was
Uh,
gonna be unsolved. And he wasn't a white van. He was in like one of them
a
old
car, a
school
car,
Jeeps or
car
something.
with like
Yeah, and
a
when he
trunk
drilled
with a,
out
like
the
a
little
hole in it or
keyhole
something. Yeah,
that coming
exactly.
through the seat, just popping it. He didn't give a
Uh,
fuck.
yeah, I
But
lived
he
back there when that happened too.
nigga, everybody was scared. We was gassing up on base.
Yeah. Yup, yup. I used to sneak on those bases. Yeah, that was back in the day. Another story. That was
I
another
know that's
story.
right.
The
Well,
girls
nigga
over there
was
was crazy.
scared as a bitch. I'm like, should I
Yeah.
still go to school? I was going to college then. I was like, man, I was wherever I was going, I was in and out, in and out. I'm like, so wherever I had to go, straight home. I went, and I got
Mhm.
all my gas on base. When they caught him, I was like, what? You wasn't expecting it.
Yeah. Did you
You
see
wasn't expecting.
did you see Ann Wolf's speech on the podium? She
Nah, I
said
need to go back and watch it. What you got to say about it?
well, she it was a humble short speech and she just basically said like how she feel like, she's glad to be here with everybody, how she could chop it up with people, how much people showed her so much respect as a boxer, like even though they were famous to her. She was like at the end she was like, I'm gonna be up here. I'm gonna take my medal home, and I'm gonna be in peace with my broke wrist. I was like, when she said broke wrist, I didn't understand it at first, but then I knew what she was because she was saying she was like a lesbian. I'm assuming. You see what I'm saying? So,
Her broke
yeah,
wrist?
yeah, broke wrist, with broke wrist and all. So I guess she's a lesbian. I never knew
Oh,
she
I
was
didn't
a
know that.
lesbian. I never knew she was a lesbian. Well,
I, I don't know how you did know that.
that's
Don't
what I
mean to
got
laugh
out of it,
at.
yo. That's what I got out of it.
Yeah.
And she's a
I
great boxer, but it's like
But she's a great person. She's a great
and,
mother.
and she and she's a family person, but I guess she
Yeah.
was just saying she's happy for who she is.
She has
You know
two
what I'm saying?
kids. She
Yeah,
raised her
exactly,
kids.
exactly. And then I guess Bernard Hopkins' speech touched me the most. He talked about how like he took that long corridor walk from the Philly jail. He was giving away all this stuff, and the ward was like saying you'll be back. And he was like looking at the board, and he took that home after he walked that long corridor, giving away everything he had. He said, "You'll be back in 6 months." And he said he took that and he went to the nearest gym, and he said that that's when he never looked back. He was at peace, and he just went forward in his life. You know what I mean? And he never forgot
Yeah.
what that guard said, the warden said.
Do,
Yeah, he
do
got a
y'all
documentary coming out.
y'all realize that sports? Because I had to take this in history class for my major. Um, got this lady taught a sport class and the importance of it, but how it originated. A lot of the sports that we're into originated from Canada. I was like, nah, but yeah. when
Yeah.
when you start learning, and a lot of sports that we play these days are derivatives from Indian Native Americans um, type of sports. And when I say Native Americans, not just here in America, but from this whole Western Hemisphere, from top to bottom, were consisted of Native Americans. So this whole Western Hemisphere wasn't lost. People came over here, but there was people already here, and they what we would call Indians or Native Americans, because South America is called Americas. Even in the middle, Mexico and all that, they are called the Americas. This whole Western Hemisphere. So they have games and sports, and if you do a study on it, you'll be like, oh, that's what we play here. That's what we play there. But like basketball, I always knew about the story of I think his name was Charles Naismith or Naismith that invented it at the local YMCA or for that day in time, the whatever the Y was. And but he was from Canada. He was absolutely from Canada. But he invented that shit here. So we give him the credit for inventing basketball. But again, that was akin to a native game that Indians played too. So we just took what Indians were playing and revamped it. Like Indian culture is all in America. A lot of people don't even realize it. Um, so I at first when I was growing up, I was like, man, well, we don't prop up the Indians. We still got a lot we could do, but they do because if you think about most American names outside of the obvious influence, which was Europe, um, most of the names are Indian names.
Yeah.
Illinois is an Indian name. Chicago is an Indian name. Tennessee is an Indian name. Arkansas is an Indian name. These are all Indian names. Like all you can go down all the states. Then when you get to the Carolinas, maybe, or Maryland, or some of the middle states,
Right.
or upper states, what they call upper states. You might the New England states, for example. Yeah, that influences Europe, but most of American names are Indian.
I feel like I feel like when I grew up, I'm from Atlantic City, so I feel like when I grew up in the inlet, like I lived in like say like Haiti or somewhere, like where you had like a beach right down the street, you could jump off the boardwalk. I feel like I lived in like an Indian culture growing up. You know what I mean? Because we would fish, like with cans, we would do all types of stuff, like with barely nothing to live with. Everybody had afros back then. It was an all black community. You see what I'm saying? My grandmother was light skinned, like everybody in my family's light skinned, and it's like she told me once that we were she said she was Indian, so I'm assuming that our heritage is from America. Like I know that the fact is that we're all from Africa, but I look at like how what my grandmother told me, and that's all I really have to go with. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
we all got.
yeah,
The American black person is a mutt full of
yeah,
everything. I can real close see the um the Indian side of my family and the white. So
yeah,
it took all of them to make me. You know what I'm saying? Um,
for
as
sure.
far I look like a regular black person, but like I'm tell you, I'm 1/16 Indian.
You know what, and I wouldn't say you wasn't. You know what I mean? Because it's true. I feel like a lot of our heritage actually was started from here. In my opinion, I'm the same way. I'm of the same mindset with the limited mindset of the limited knowledge I have of it. But like I just look at like everybody was light skinned. My grandma was light skinned. Only two black dark skinned people in my family. I kid you not.
And see,
Out of
on
the
the
whole
opposite, we
family.
we run the gamut of color. Ain't no telling. Like me, and my brother and sister, we all look different. Came from the same womb.
Of
But
course, of
like
course.
my mom's daddy, man was a white man. That what he looked like to me. But we know he was mixed, and
Yeah,
that's my mom dad. So he made my mom, and she made me. But then
of
my
course.
mom's mother, her mother was Indian. So that's my mom's mom. So that's why I say I'm 1/16 because I know, like in the states, if you 132 or less, then you know you can get tax exemption. I never claimed it. I'm an American, damn it. I'm gonna pay my taxes. And I know that sounds crazy. Like if you don't have to pay for it, I do have them feelings like, man, if we ain't have to pay for taxes. But in America, a lot of people don't know. You know, if you 132 are Indian, then you can claim exempt, but they got to be able to prove it.
Yeah,
You can check my birth certificate and go backwards. You'll be able to prove mine. And
the
so, but
same
I don't
thing.
look Indian.
Yeah, the same thing that happened to the British Black Americans over there, where they lost all their paperwork. Probably the same thing happened to our paperwork in America. You know
Exactly.
that, like, as far as like, you never know what happened back in those days before your parents or your grandparents. You know what I mean? At least that's
Yeah.
how I look at it. You know what
I always will pick up my own kind, but my own kind is also everybody. You know what I'm saying? It takes all of them people to make us. Like I said, we not that far off my generation. My mom parents mixed. So what am I supposed to do? I can't hate on the white folks. That the white person made it possible for me to be here.
So
You know
what
what I'm
state you
saying?
say you was originally from? Boxing fans, talk to me.
What city? Richmond, Virginia.
Oh, nice. Yeah, because I think my family had a family reunion like in Fredericksburg, Virginia. That's where like we all had
Yeah.
our family reunion one. So yeah, Virginia is kind of like like a talking point to like where you originated from, your heritage. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
In a
Yeah.
sense, in a sense, you know.
I feel like a fish out of water down here in the great state of Georgia. But
Yeah, I got kids down there. They love it down there.
Georgia is a great place to raise kids. I ain't gonna lie. My
Yeah,
kids are grown now, but it was a great place to raise kids. And then
no doubt.
like anything, sometimes people can live near the family, sometimes they can't. I love my family to death, but shoot, you gotta have some strength. You gotta have some strength to fuck with my family. You really do. You gotta have some strength. And I be wanting to have just a peace. I be like, let me stay there here, because then I would be out the way. I could be in no, I can't be in trouble. You know,
Yeah, I
it's
know that's
typical
right.
girls. That's why we have a lot of girls in the family. You already know when us clucking hens get together. You already know we're copping off. So I be like, let me
Yeah,
stay down here and get out the way.
yeah. It was like a couple those hall. You didn't see any of those this weekend? It was off the chain. I loved everything on
What?
the Hall
What?
of Fame. Like just the whole
Yeah.
like I don't even I had to big up Ellie Setback because he had like so much good footage of like just the
Mm-hmm. And
camaraderie
fight
that all
hype.
of the boxers had. Yeah, fight hype too. And and I don't watch them much either. But it was like that's what all the content was for the Hall of Fame, and it was like I wish I would have went to it. It's like it wasn't even far away from me either. I gotta
So
go
what do you
check.
think? Do you think that all first year boxers, professional boxers, maybe they should take a trip and see that ceremony unfold, because it'll give them a different perspective. I mean, when it choked Floyd up, a man who
Exactly.
never lost for words, it choked him the fuck up.
Exactly. He used to
And,
that Las Vegas,
yeah,
like that Las Vegas pride. But he actually got to see the real Hall of Fame, and he was inducted into that shit in New York. It
yeah,
was
and this
beautiful.
is a small town, and guess what? That ceremony probably make the revenue for the entire year for that town. I can see
It
that.
had to have been. It had to have been because all I seen
Yeah,
was white people clapping, embracing the boxing. They embraced boxing like they
right.
follow, like they follow the sport more than better than us. They
I
embrace
mean,
those people. You
and
know.
if you wasn't a legend before, you are now when you inducted it into the Hall of Fame. And like I
Exactly.
said, Terrence Crawford got his hands cast. I actually looked up, and I didn't keep it up here, but I was gonna show you. You guys can Google search it real easy. I looked
Yeah.
up to say, why did they cast the hands? And the answer was, ever since 1990, the International Boxing Hall of Fame have made it a tradition to get the cast handprint of fighters that they induct into the Hall of Fame. And mind you, Bud ain't even inducted yet because he's an active fighter still. He's not retired, but
No.
they took his cast. Okay, so when I be saying, I do admit that Bud, fans, we got in our feelings. 'Cause I tell you for myself, when I kept hearing the disparaging remarks, like, What about his resume? He don't got no IQ. He don't know what he doing. He ain't fighting nobody. You know, all the little things that they like to say. And I was like, wait a minute now. Bud don't need Earl, like, you know, because they'll be like, Bud have said as much sometimes. I don't really need Earl. And people take that out of context. I was like, look, Bud can retire today, right now. And I guarantee you, by the end of next year, he'll be a Hall of Famer. Because they already got that class for 2022. Guarantee he'll be a Hall of Famer. That's real talk. And it came from the response of folks putting down Bud and diminishing his character and diminishing his body of work or whatever. Ronald dropped off. Now, I'm going to have to reboot or do something with my computer soon. But we over 2 hours. Thank y'all for listening. I know this was going to be a big show because I came on super late. I normally come on Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. So whenever I finish, I usually go about an hour 30 minutes, or 2 hours. So I'm gonna try to go on and get up out of here. But I did want to talk about that. And I was basically disgusted with the response from Earl Spence. And I'm just one person, but you don't have to respond to everything. The people that edge Bud over you, they were very respectful to you. It's not, he act like there is no other choice but him. You always gotta bow down to him, or else you're not black no more. You're not this. You're not. I ain't saying he do it, but when he does, when he respond like he do, his fans take it and run with it. And then like those will be the ones that pull your black card and act like something wrong with you. Ain't nothing wrong with nobody.
I'm like this. You reap what you sow. I remember when Porter and Spence was first starting to fight. Spence used to say like, "You're a nobody. You don't bring no fans to the pay-per-views and all this. You're not even like that important yet. You're only famous in Texas because we watch the Texas channel all the time. But it's like they don't understand. Like, in order to be somebody, you gotta be it's a gentleman's sport. It's the hurt business, but it's also a gentleman's sport. Like, I just felt like that whole attitude of how Spence was like supposedly this cash cow was blown up too early in his career.
Right.
Too early.
I think they was putting the cart before the horse.
Yeah. And I like Spence a lot because he's a good boxer and he hurt you. But it's like, at the same token, I'm not gonna sit there and act like you the end all be all when there's other boxers out there who's trying to be. Or put it like this: it's all about, like, how we grew up, like the wide world of sports. Like, it's too early for all that extra. Like, you like this invincible person. Why are you still fighting then if you're gonna be this invincible? Let us judge you. Let us judge you.
Say what you are, because your claim to fame came out the fact that you boxed Mayweather, and I guess you gave him a shiner. That's what your claim to fame came off of. But then you sit up there and you say that you cliquish, and you always put people down. Because I go back to that Bud interview when he had the blue sweater on. Nobody. I was trying to figure out where the fuck all that shit come from. It's not like somebody said, "Now put down Bud. I want to hear how you put him down." What's up, Shelton? I'm gonna get you in a minute. I put him down. And he went through his resume, just putting him down, and I was like, at that time, like, what did Bud ever say to you like that? But you like to put people down, and now it's fuck them all because they see what we see, that you can't beat Bud. What's up, Shelton? Got on.
I had to click on because I saw something today. I was doing some side work, and I saw something today. I just had to laugh.
Oh, shit.
A nigga made he did a stream today, and this was his thumbnail. Listen to this carefully. The nigga said was the Boxing Hall of Fame ceremony Errol Spence hate fest. I damn near fell off the goddamn fork there.
It's crazy, bro. How you get that out of there, bro?
These niggas are so obsessed with this dude.
Yeah.
Anytime someone has a different opinion than theirs, they hate him.
Yeah.
They asked The
You a
legends who
raccoon,
gonna
you a
win this
nobody.
fight? They asked the legends who gonna win this fight, and all the legends said the same thing.
Paulie.
One guy fights one way, the other guy fights in multiple ways. I think that guy has more tools in his bag. I think he's gonna win. That's all they said.
Exactly. And they also said that Earl Spence is one of the 2 best welterweights now.
Yeah, they said that.
Gave him
All
credit.
the legends said that.
Yeah, I was like,
Shit.
what was the fuck them all?
But here was the problem. I'm gonna tell you what the problem is. The problem was Bud went to the Hall of Fame ceremony as a fan. He went as a fan. They saw he was there. They said, "Well, fuck it, we gonna go ahead and make your fist cast now because we know you coming.
Exactly.
We know
Oh,
you
so,
gonna be here.
so they didn't
The
invite him.
accolades is
Yeah.
there.
So we gonna go ahead and make your fist with all these legends that's being inducted into the Hall of Fame. We gonna go ahead and make your fist cast now. So when you come back, you can skip this part because you already got it done."
I was under the impression that he was invited because
He
there was a lot of
was.
people there.
He was invited.
Like
Yeah.
by the panel, by the Hall of Fame people.
Exactly.
Because Bivol was there too. Ain't nobody called him up there. And Joe Smith about to get into the biggest fight ever come up in July. They didn't call him up to the stage. And there was some fighters in there that's still active. They didn't call him up. I think they invited Bud to do that. And
They did. You absolutely right, T. They did, baby. They did.
And if you look up why did they take a cast of your hand, it said we started this tradition in 1990 to take a cast of the hand of the inductees to the Hall of Fame. Bud ain't even inducted, but they see fit, like you said, I want to knock this out.
Is he coming in?
He got the royal treatment too, mind you. They rode him around on the golf carts to every site of that Hall of Fame, that whole compound or whatever it was. He got the royal treatment the whole time he was there, like he was in the hall.
But check this out. If that had been Spence, they would have glorified the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I just appreciated Shelton Moore. I just appreciated Shelton Moore. I was like, dang, this is beautiful. Like, look at this place, man.
I mean, that's been my whole argument. Miss T can tell you this since I've known her. Has that not been my argument? The dude is a walking, talking Hall of Famer right now. He doesn't need the Spence fight. He wants it. There's a difference. He doesn't need it.
They should be glad he wants it. He wants the competition.
Exactly.
It's all about competitive nature.
And what did Bernard Hopkins said about Undisputed?
Huh?
Oh, he said something good about it.
Undisputed.
What did he say?
He said, I remember him saying something along the lines of, it's great when a fighter wants to continuously challenge himself. He's not settling for mediocrity. He's not settling just because he has a title and people are saying he's the best. He wants to constantly prove it. He said that's what he sees. This guy is striving for greatness. He wants to compete. He wants to prove that he is the best at what he does.
He said undisputed is kind of like, he said undisputed is a good thing to have though, along with it.
Yeah,
I think that's
of course it is. Because he was undisputed. Roy was undisputed.
Undisputed.
They was in the 3-belt area though, right? One in the 3-belt area though.
Yeah, it's still undisputed for them. But
of course.
There was still no question. See, here's the difference between these guys we talking about and these guys today. When Ali got in the ring, when Foreman got in the ring, Frazier, when Holmes and Ray Leonard and Hearns and Hagler, all those guys, when they got in the ring, nobody questioned who the best fighter was.
Nope.
Nobody questioned it. We knew that's the guy, right?
They was fighting the best.
Roy Jones, that's the guy, right?
Shit, I remember Bone Crusher Smith fighting people at the heavyweight division. Bone Crusher Smith was like one of the best back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But the thing is, in today's era, you can only say that with a few guys. There's only a couple guys. When Usyk get in the ring, say, okay, that's the guy. You know what I'm saying? When we can go down to 130 when Shakur get in the ring, or when Dev get in the ring, or when
Jamel get in the ring.
Jamel get in the
now.
ring. That's the guy. You know what I'm saying? When Bud get in the ring, that's the guy. You
Yep.
see what I'm saying? That's what it is. And they can't stand that because they want their guy to be the guy so bad. And I get it. The guy got 3 belts. But if you want to be honest, he beat 3 guys. He ain't beat nobody that was really on his level.
Keith Thurman already did that. Keith Thurman
Exactly.
did that already. He did
Exactly.
that. And he did good.
All those guys he beat had already been beat. Yeah, exactly.
But you will hear the Earl fans to say Bud fighting his leftovers. But when you you gather the spit to say some shit like that, remember that Earl fighting Keith leftovers. But so that's why you don't say shit like that, you know, or fuck them all. Like, okay, y'all forever putting down Bud or other fighters you want to put down. Nobody and none of your fans have nothing to say about it.
Back then we didn't look at it like they was leftovers when Spence fought.
They was good fighters. They were
good fighters. But now they got us on. I feel like this, like they make me want to reap, but they reaping what they sow because I never was like that with Spence. I loved Spence. I still like him.
I still love Spence. I think he's one of the best welterweights out there. He's just not better than the other guy.
Exactly. You're not gonna keep putting down the other guy either because we know he got skills.
The other guy's just better. That's what it is. And you will find out whenever they sign this fight, we get the date. Everybody's gonna find out. Did you hear what James Toney said? Did you hear what James Toney said? You didn't hear what JT said. You didn't hear what Lights Out said.
I think I heard a little bit, but go ahead and repeat what JT said.
Lights Out said, shit, Smith be lucky the last 6 rounds.
I heard that. Bud was trying to look. They kept trying to ask Bud. Bud was actually trying to be respectful. I know he heard that reporter asked him, and then his answer was real respectful. So I don't even see how anybody classify that whole ceremony as hate. I mean, Floyd have said in the past and now that Bud is better. You know, these are things that people say. You know, Sugar Ray Leonard is Earl's favorite fighter, but Earl ain't Sugar's favorite fighter. And there's no harm or disrespect. You fight the same. I always say, you take Earl's ability to stand like he likes to stand, because he ride his brakes. And that's what I call riding your brakes. he hover on his sit down punches, and you take that away from him,
what
fuck his
do?
whole world up.
Yep.
Earl Spence, let me tell you something. This is the truth. Now, this is the truth. This ain't no shade. Earl Spence is a flat-footed come forward volume puncher. That's all he is. That's what he does.
Yep.
They keep trying to tell me Earl Spence got multiple styles. I want both of y'all. I want y'all to be honest. Have you ever seen Errol Spence switch up his style?
No.
No, he's a come forward fighter. Once he know you hurt, he'll stalk you like he did Chris Algieri. You know what I mean? He'll come at you like that, like he know what he's doing, cutting off the ring. But I've never really seen him like cut off the ring effectively with like an effective mover. Like Crawford is an effective mover, switch hitter, and everything. You know, it's different. It's different.
When they be saying, let me get both of y'all opinion on this. Earl makes more adjustments. No, he don't. The idea of the word adjustment means to change something about what you're doing to nullify what the other person doing. That's making adjustments.
He come at you.
Beat people every time by his own style.
Yeah,
he coming at you.
For him, it works.
You ain't gonna have to look for Errol. You know where he gonna be.
If you stay there, he gonna see you.
yeah. He ain't moving. He gonna come right at you. He's not gonna do nothing fancy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I give it. They got the right analogy. They say he's a Tim Duncan of boxing, and that's what he is. He fundamentally sound. He got a nice jab. He got good, decent footwork, and he's coming straight at you. He's not dancing. He's not moving. He's not making no adjustments. But see, what's going to happen is the problem with fighting Crawford is this. Crawford is so skilled, and he got power in both hands. He going to make this dude fight backing up. You have to fight backing up fucking Bud. Because every time you walk forward with that bullshit, you're going to get caught with something.
Mm-hmm. I can see him beating him in the orthodox stance. I can really see him beating in the orthodox stance or some real shit. Like Sugar Ray beat I think Sugar Ray fought Hagler in the orthodox stance, or was it
No,
what was
Hagler
it?
fought in the orthodox stance for the first 4 rounds, and he waited too late to switch. He had lost 4 rounds by then.
Oh, okay.
Once he switched, he started whooping Ray ass, but it was too late.
Yeah.
It was too
But
late. He waited too
you
late.
know what B-Hop said? B-Hop said, you know what? Right, like somebody must have said something because I didn't hear what somebody said to him, but he was answering to the Undisputed. He
Mhm.
said, yeah, it ain't everything, but that shit helped. Basically saying like when you come into the Hall of Fame, you know,
Hell
and
yeah.
I know every fucking undisputed fighter is going to the Hall of Fame. You
Now
know
let
they
me
are.
ask you this. Let me ask you this.
Mhm.
If this man become undisputed in 2 divisions, is that gonna shift the haters up?
Nah,
no.
You see, but she said no,
No.
no.
I don't believe so either.
They gonna make an
It's
excuse for Errol. They gonna say it was
it's
a
too
car wreck.
they gonna say
it's
something.
yeah, it's
When
too
they giving
ingrained.
him, they
It's too
penalize him.
ingrained.
They
It's too
penalize him.
ingrained. They got to stick with their story because I heard a channel today saying that they were saying it was a conspiracy that it was a fixed fight. Shelton Moore.
They said it's gonna be a
Sean
fixed
Porter.
fight.
No, they
They
said
say
that
so.
Porter versus Crawford was a fixed fight today. I went on this dude channel yesterday and I was hanging out with him. Then I went on his channel today. He made a video saying it was a fixed fight.
Come
Conspiracy.
on, man. These
With
dudes
that,
are just. I just.
it's
I
sad,
mean,
bro.
and here's the thing. You know, we all 3 of us, we love boxing, right? We follow the sport. I participated in the sport. I don't know if you did, sir, but you know, I
Nah,
love boxing. I love
yeah,
boxing, right? But it don't mean that much to me.
it's just my favorite
It don't mean
sport.
that much to me the way these dudes be going. It don't mean that much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's not that important. But now, if you making money, and I think that's a big part of this too. If you making money off of these clickbait titles, then sure, I get it.
yeah.
I mean, that's why I say I don't try to really knock them. I always tell you, from my perspective, I don't need to lie to you to sit up here and talk boxing.
Right.
One of the main reason I got a podcast is because I was getting on my family goddamn nerves talking boxing.
Talking box.
And I want to hear it.
Exactly,
So I was
exactly.
like, let me find like minds, you know what I'm saying? Because
Right,
This
right,
shit,
right, right,
this shit
right,
therapy.
right.
This shit therapy. Yeah, that's why I
yeah,
come on.
yeah, yeah. We gonna get this motherfucking pimping.
But you
Exactly.
ain't never gonna hear me, because I know you done heard this, Miss T. And what's your name, brother?
It's
Ron.
Ronald Finkley.
Hey, Big Ron, my man. That's my guy right
Yeah,
there. Yeah.
Shelton, you come on everybody's channel. I know you love
Yeah, I
boxing.
come, man. I love boxing, bro. I talk boxing. But
Yes, sir.
I know you heard it. I know you heard it, Ron, because you done been there with me. And I know you heard it, Miss T. Motherfuckers get to the point where they, nigga, I'll kill you. When I see you, nigga, I'm gonna do this. And I'm gonna dude, really?
Yeah, exactly.
Really? Is that serious
Yeah.
over opinion?
Open opinion.
Well,
I
first of
talk
all,
shit
sir.
to them though. They know me.
Yeah, because I'm like, well, first of all, sir, how are you gonna kick my ass from behind a keyboard in your mama's basement 3,000 miles away? Tell me how that's gonna work.
I tell they ass come on border wars. That's
How is that
what
gonna
I
work?
be telling them. They don't say
They
nothing
be
after
trying to
that.
get under your skin or scare you or whatever. You know, it's just opinions, y'all. But we coming with the facts. I mean, I can't have an opinion without the facts. I don't pull nothing out my. It
At
ain't
least the
worth it for
racist
me.
dialogue went away a lot. It
Yeah,
used to be bad when I
pull out
first
my.
came on. It was bad back
Oh
then. Like
wow.
2017, 2016, it was really bad. It's gotten better. I will say that.
I came in through the pandemic. I was looking for. It's 2 things I did. I stumbled onto these podcasts, these boxing shows, which I love because I don't even watch TV like talking about. I do YouTube a lot, and then y'all ain't gonna believe it, but every zoo got like a camcorder where they watch a family of animals. I love
Yeah.
gorillas. I love them, and I've been
I like
watching
the Eagles. I
since
like the Eagles. Watching the Eagles
since
nest.
since for like 2 years, right? I've been watching this family out of Japan. I call it a family, and they call the Mamataro family, gorilla family. The dad and
Mhm.
kids and mom, and the dad and when the mom been through so much. Like what could offset a gorilla? Like they have to be in groups and all this
Yeah,
stuff.
they're social animals.
Yeah, they social. And then I watch her give birth to her youngest. And I see how the oldest, he a big baby, little jealous motherfucker be hurting the baby and shit. And how the
Uh-huh.
daddy be wrecking. Man, I love it because it's like how your household should be running. The dad, man, they look. They had not an earthquake. Japan get
Yeah.
earthquakes, and the daddy ran straight to the mama. She was
Mm-hmm.
holding the baby, and he grabbed her from behind and like escorted her toward the door. He knew. I don't know how he knew. Step outside this door. On the
Yeah.
outside instead of being in the inside. But he went in protect
So
mode
they're
like
gonna
a
hit you in the
mother.
head.
Man, that shit. That y'all can think I'm crazy. That shit had me happy as a motherfucker. And I was like, that's how a family's supposed to be. Where the motherfucking dad is at? Saying shit. This
No
motherfucking
doubt.
Mama Terra, he be running shit. He be running shit, and they give him respect. I love it. I love it, and I watch him every day. Ron, I watch him every day. 15
I gotta
minutes.
check that out, Miss T. I gotta check it out.
I'm
I like
telling you, I
watching new
watch him
stuff.
every day, and I learn more and more about humans, or just how it should be. Because, like, a lot of times, just in life, we live in a patriarchal society, and as a woman, I don't like to be told what to do. Like, all of us had parents that was riding our ass, and then we get a certain age, we be adults, and then my job as a woman is supposed to go to transition to another home as an adult, and be having somebody run me. That ain't ideal for me. But when I look at the animal kingdom, I see how simplistic it is. There's a king, there's a queen. You know what I'm
No
saying?
doubt.
Y'all work
No doubt.
together. And the
Yes, sir.
motherfucking
Yes.
king, if he all that and beyond reproach, the queen gonna do what it do. Everything that need to be done. That he needs to be the king. He needs to feel like he running shit. No problem, king.
I just keep track of my grown rack pack almost. Like I just keep control of them. Me and my baby mother not together no more, but I still love her like a person. But hey, we passed that stage. But the kids is all I care about.
Right, right.
She
Me and
married,
Sheldon
so it's
over
all
here,
good.
kids grown as a motherfucker. Done,
I
Sheldon.
believe
We off the
Too
clock.
grown. Too grown.
that's what's
Look,
up.
Ron, we
Fucking
off the clock.
adults.
Yeah, mine is 19, and I got one that's 17 now. Then I got my
It's-
youngest with me. So I
you
got
got
all my
girls?
kids in my life. I got all my
You
kids
got,
in my
you
life.
got
I love it.
girls?
Well, my oldest one is 17, but then I got one that's like 10 that's right here with me. And then my son is
Okay.
19. He just came back from college, but he's trying to find himself right now. He was up here with me, then him got to, it's my son.
Yeah.
He's strong minded. He's strong minded. He's positive though. He ain't in no trouble. He's doing the right thing in life. That's all that matters to me.
Hey,
You know.
this generation of
Oh,
kids, you can't tell them shit.
I
You
gotta
raise
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
gotta clean up on aisle 5, y'all. I got to
Oh
go.
shucks.
I
All right,
Nice
y'all. I'll
talking
talk
to
to
you,
y'all
son.
later.
Come on.
look you up.
Peace, brother.
Yes, man. You know it. Talk to you
Man.
later, T.
All right, Sheldon, thank you for
Nah,
coming through.
All
Yeah,
right,
Ron.
no
man.
doubt.
So,
One, bro.
so,
Yeah.
kids for that transition, it be something else. That's what I'm going through, and it's like I be laughing sometimes when I look at parents that their kids are real young. I be like, you have no idea. I keep it to myself. You gonna go
Yeah.
through it just like I had to go through it, and that transition. And but you daddy, so you ain't gonna go through
Yeah.
the problems that mamas go through with their daughters. I know
See,
you.
like you explained about the gorillas and how they like you saw what you saw. That's how I try to rule with an iron fist, but it don't work that way all the time.
Our girls, no.
Mhm.
Our girls, they already
Well,
be
no,
trying
not
to
the
take your
girl. I'm
place.
thinking about my son, but like
Your
my
son,
daughter, they listen. My daughters
yeah,
listen. I'm just
they
thinking about my
listen to
son.
you, but how they are with their mama.
Or they listen to her more than they listen to me.
Oh damn, she
She's the
doing the
strong
right
woman.
thing because
She's the,
my
both
mom,
of both of them. My youngest and my girl now, but then my oldest and my other daughter, they listen to their mom. They know better. They know better. And that's what I love about it. Like they're not getting in no trouble. Like how I never really got in trouble until I turned an adult either. But like they almost adults and they not getting in trouble. And that's a good thing. I'm just glad they're doing
yeah,
better than what we were doing when I was that age. You know what I mean?
that was my daughter. But mark my words, when your daughter get like 18 and they start going off to college, watch how the mama and them be. My daughter was a good daughter, good. I couldn't. God bless me abundantly. Like she never gave me problems. Anything that you think a little girl could give as a problem, I never had. She
I
turned
heard of that.
18, boy. Woo. I got a therapist on the distro list.
I heard that.
I'm telling you, and I ain't embarrassed about saying it because I'm gonna tell y'all
You
black
try
people.
to
They say we have PTSD. Just predicated off of the slavery thing. And people say, "Well, slavery was so long ago. You was never a slave." But the elements and the things
society.
from slavery is still with us
Yeah,
today. Like some of this shit,
yeah,
I can walk you from slavery all the way up to now to tell you how nothing really changed to a certain extent. There has been progress, but there hasn't been change. Change is 180. So we might be at 90 right now, or halfway change. You know what I'm saying? We're not quite
yeah.
at 180 yet, and we'll get there. But change is slow and steady. That's what you hope that it is, at least slow and steady, rather than
Yeah,
not
for
be at all.
sure. For sure, for sure. And I appreciate. It's funny because you should bring all of that up because I always think about Wilder when I think about like how it's something that's like instilled in us, like as far as slavery goes. You know what I mean? The deep South is the deep South. You know what I mean? Like I grew up different than how I'm pretty sure how Wilder grew up. You see what I'm saying? I respect Wilder. Like I was attracted to him, like as far as his entertainment value and everything he did for the sports. But then eventually I had to come out of it and just be about skills. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's like I said, I'm like not in that element that he lived in. You know what I mean? But I respect Wilder. You see what I'm saying?
And one thing I always tell everybody, if I'm biased with any fighter, is Wilder, and even I won't cake or lie for him. But if I'm
I know you
biased,
like him. I
I
know
said
you
this
like him.
Wilder country over here, don't it?
Yep, yep. I heard you say that a few times.
This Wilder country. You know where I
Yeah.
get that from? I remember
Well,
when they was about to storm the castle, right? So people was
uh-huh.
coming out with videos of how these white folks was parking all over DC, and DC chocolate city, right?
Oh
So
yeah,
they had, them guys, them older people is notorious for sitting on the stoop or sitting on the porch.
exactly. In
So this
DC.
white guy pulled up in the black neighborhood. He tried to park his car. He said, "Man, what you doing?" He was all, you could tell what he was about. He said, "What you
Exactly.
doing, man? You better get that car out of here. This Joe
Yep.
Biden country." He
Yeah, I
said,
think somebody told him, said you leave that here, it's gonna be off the ground or some shit when you get back.
"Then you have no wheels, you got shit." That dude took about like five, 6 steps, sitting about face, went back to his car. He was like, "Man, fuck this. Let me get it." Yeah, you
Yo, that
better
was
get
like
the fuck up out
that
of
was
here.
that. That sounded like Southeast DC to me.
Yeah.
I saw a couple videos like that. That's real though.
Oh
They
my
don't play that
god.
shit in DC. You know how
That
we was.
is.
At least when I grew up in DC, yo. They showed Mississippi burnings in the movie theater. Man,
Oh
we
shit.
went in there thinking we was gonna see a good movie, man. We came out that bitch terrorizing that
Mad as
motherfucker.
a bitch. I can't
They
watch
pissed
that.
us
I
off.
can't watch that movie all the time. I gotta be in a
Yeah,
good place in my head and probably by myself. I be looking at motherfuckers sideways. But
you know?
like I said, I can't even imagine the racism that Terrence probably felt, even within their own community. Because a lot of black people, y'all do some racism shit and it's based on colorism. Y'all do that shit. And I can hear it in your tone when you speak, because I experienced it. Like, they always say, Mickey Howard say the best. Experience is a good teacher. Take someone like me to know or to learn. And so, I mean, I've experienced it myself, and I know it when I hear it and I see it. And and there's some black people that be on this shit don't even know. The sad part, they don't even know that they do that shit. They don't even know. Like, I got some scores to settle with some black folks in the Navy, or they retired Navy, because we all retired now. Couldn't really
Yeah,
say nothing while I was in. Kind of like how Terrence played the wall and didn't really say nothing because he didn't want Bob to shelve him. But in the Navy, the same way. I gotta play. I can't be talking so much that I'm gonna lose the shit that I did gain. I'm like,
exactly.
how am I gonna maneuver this thing where I keep what I got and maybe add more? So that required me not to say much. But in me not saying much, I lost contact or a way to contact. I got this one lady, she told me I couldn't get a good evaluation, which evaluation in the Navy is what helps you make rank, because you get points.
Hmm.
She told me I couldn't get it because I'm too dark. She was light brown. so she don't like dark skinned women or whatever. But
Yeah.
it don't. Never mind that I worked and earned it, and had cancer at that time and never missed a beat. Did just as much as everybody else with cancer. And you gonna tell me I was too dark to get a good eval? I swear for Claude, if I ever run into this bitch, I'm gonna tell her how I feel. I ain't gonna fight her, but I've been holding that in for a long time because I couldn't say nothing. Her rank was all that. I give her that. Her rank was all that. I couldn't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? But now we retired.
Yes,
Fuck
sir.
that bitch. I'm gonna let you know you ain't no real nigga because that's what you said to me. So I don't give you no props as no nigga. You a wannabe master, and that's what a lot of these dudes be on, some wannabe master shit, and they don't think that they do that. Like, until we as a collective check other folks, check ourselves, we'll never know that. A lot of y'all black dudes, I swear, I be looking back and be like, they wish they was the white dude. They wish they was master.
Well, not me. Like I ain't gonna lie, I've always been like who I was. Like as far as like whether I'm light skinned or not. Like I've always been a person from the neighborhood, but I've also been a person who won't let nobody just run over me, whether they're white, black, green, or yellow. You know what I mean? And that's what I try to instill in my kids. Like, don't be mad at people, but just let them know that you want respect. And you give them respect if they give you respect back, but don't just fall for anything people say. Because when you're younger, your mind can get manipulated by other races. So you don't allow that. You just kind of say, look, I'm my person. I'll listen to you, but I'm not gonna sit there and kiss your ass, type thing. That's
Exactly.
what
Let's
I
bring
grew up
those.
like that in Atlantic City. Like when I worked in the casinos and stuff. Like I noticed how people try to manipulate you. Like
Yeah,
me, and if they Italian or they white, they think they better than you. So you gotta like just watch them and let them know, look, fuck all that shit. You're not gonna be manipulating me or stereotyping me. You know what I mean? Type attitude.
let's bring
You,
back those old cliches. Do
yeah,
unto
that type.
others as you have them do unto you. Birds of a feather flock together. Them shits won't pull out of somebody's ass. That shit was relevant at that time and it meant something. And it's relevant to this
Yep,
day. You know what I'm
for
saying? You
sure,
respect
for
me,
sure.
I'm gonna respect you.
Yeah,
Let's live on principle.
and like Wilder, like it was a lot of good things he used to say, that I enjoyed. Then there's a lot of things that he said like later on that I kind of stirred away from. But I still
I'm,
respect him. I wish he'd come back. Like I ain't gonna front. I like Wilder enough to watch him fight again. You know what I mean?
I'm, I'm happy with whatever the champ decide. He's unapologetic for him. He has a good heart, good spirit, and you can glean that when you're around him. I met Terrence Crawford twice. Glean that
Nice.
around him too. I've never
Yeah.
met Earl Spence, but just based on what I see on the tissue, how you respond to things tells a lot about you. And like I
Yeah.
said, y'all with the vitriol of oof, I don't know what they was giving the business to Terrence Crawford. Some of these YouTube channels, his fans, all this. I mean, there was no limit as to the disrespect that they was heaping on this dude. But
Yeah.
Terrence Crawford never really responded to half that shit.
Yeah.
Over
That's
half
uh,
that shit.
a lot of shit I had to roll out on. I had
Yeah.
a burner account following me on Twitter when I first used to fuck with the LWC. He was saying he was Crawford. You see what I'm saying? But I didn't
Mm,
never believe him. But he was like telling me that. Put it like this. I was actually talking back to this dude because I thought he was actually Crawford. You see what I'm saying? But it's
yeah.
like it is what it is. It was like the hate was just so deep. You know what I mean? And
So
I
deep.
just had to get out of that situation.
So
Y'all
deep.
motherfuckers
And
crazy. Y'all
then
not trying to make them fight. Y'all just disrespecting them now. So if you start calling somebody a raccoon around me, I'm rolling the fuck out. Especially if I don't think that person a coon. You see what I'm
yeah,
saying?
there's some
Especially
people
on a
that
different
acted coon.
platform. Yeah.
Like Chris Colbert, CC. I call him CC. Chris Colbert, when he went on the tangent and talked about Earl, and he went on the tangent and talked about Deontay. Here's the thing: you don't even fight in their weight division. Nobody asked you. You solicited that yourself.
Yeah.
That's when I be like you cooning because your only purpose is to besmirch. When Deontay remember Deontay go quiet for a long time. When Deontay talk, he's that much of a force of nature that when he talk, people gonna listen. Deontay doing an interview, and here come fucking Jamel Charlo with his 2 cents in, And then his
Oh, you
wife
ain't like
Queen
none of that
Coon,
either. See,
that was Coon's shit.
I just looked at it like he was gone for so long that it was like I just think he took too long to respond to what was going on with him with her.
I'm talking about before this last, because he just fought in October. He's
Oh
only
yeah,
been
yeah, yeah.
sitting out because he broke his hand. By law, he had no choice. The earliest he could come back was like towards the end of April, May. That was and we just in June. We ain't even had Father's Day yet. So I know it seemed like a long time because when he get ghosts, he get ghosts. He don't be on
Yeah, I
everybody
remember he used to
video.
break his hands a lot. I remember he used to break his hands and stuff a lot. I remember that.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's sitting out because anybody who broke their hand will have to sit out too. You know, if you get a cut, you cannot come right back to boxing. You have to sit out. If you get concussed, you're out for like 6 months.
Yeah,
There
of
are certain
course.
rules and stuff, but it seemed like Deontay be gone forever because he don't do the social media. He don't get on there, be clout chasing and capping and all that bull crap. But I'm talking about when he was quiet before they fought Fury. Before Fury and him fought, he came on an interview with this major. I don't know if they were old media or whatever, but this major podcast, and everybody around the world was listening to what this dude had to say. And Jamel Charlo was in the chat. He came out cooning like a motherfucker. So like, I don't like to throw those words, coon, duck, scared as fuck. I don't like to throw these words around
Me
liberally,
neither. I don't
real
either.
easy.
I don't.
But
You know,
sometimes,
you remember what Sugar Ray fought Roberto Duran the first time? I think he sat out like 2 years before he fought Duran again. Duran beat him that first fight. Remember
oh
that?
no, 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 it won't 2 years.
It
Because I
wasn't
saw
2 years.
that documentary.
You did. I
They
saw the
fought.
article.
They fought, right? And Duran was so happy. Sugar, it was getting to him, but Sugar knew to run that back shit, run that back quick, and I
Yeah.
think that's what fucked Duran up because he went out and ate and ballooned the fuck up,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
then
he did
Sugar was
balloon
like,
up.
"Yo, run that back," and Duran was like, "Shit, this is easy."
It wasn't like 2 years. Was it like how
Nah,
long was it? How
nah,
long was it?
you're mixing when he had the eye injury. It took him 2
Yeah.
years to
Oh
come
yeah,
back.
yeah, yeah. That's what I'm thinking about the eye injury because I lived in
Right,
Maryland then. Yeah. But
right.
yeah, I read an article though. Like, how long was he out when he ran that back though?
It was like less than 6 months. It was like a quick turnaround.
Damn,
Whatever. It couldn't have been no more than 6 months because
that's
I think
awesome.
they came back in November. I can't remember when they first fought, but they came back in November, and Duran had got fat as a bitch. Was fucking all these bitches. Probably made like 5 babies.
Yeah,
He was out there.
and Sugar
He
Ray
was
put it
having a
on
good
his ass
time.
second fight. Sugar Ray put it on his ass that second
Yeah,
fight.
that nigga he had stomach issues
He
and
said,
all
"No
that. But
mas."
yeah, yeah. And then
Yeah.
they say that rumor came out that somebody debunked and said, "Nah, nigga, stop playing." But it might have been just that he had the bubble guts.
Yeah, yeah.
He
It just
probably
seemed
had
like
it
it.
bad as hell.
Yeah, but Sugar Ray looked as sharp as hell that second fight. Boy.
Man, tell me about it. Like, I had to go back and look at some of Sugar fights. I'm like, damn. Well, I don't know what I was thinking of him back then because I thought he was the bomb.com. I used to love Sugar Ray Leonard back in the day. But then when I
Yeah,
go back and look at that nigga was a beast. I be
yeah.
looking at some of these fighters today. I be like, like, do you think Sugar Ray Leonard and Earl Spence in their prime fighting right now? Do you think Sugar would win or would he lose to Earl?
Sugar
What's
Ray,
up, Bo?
Sugar Ray not gonna sit there and go toe to toe with that motherfucker.
See,
Sugar
I
Ray
think
gonna be
he would.
roping dope and all types of shit on him, man. That's not even a fight to me. Like, think about the Mikey Garcia fight. Like, Mikey Garcia wasn't put it like this. We know Earl's a great fighter, but I just don't see him being able to deal with somebody who can move around and show you all types of looks. That's
Yeah.
my whole thing about the situation. Because
What's up, Bo?
I
But
think that Sean Porter even learned a lesson or two about fighting. Once after he fought Earl Spence, he decided that he was going to start boxing more. You ever notice that Sean Porter started boxing more after he fought Spence? Because he
I don't
realized
know
that
because how many fights he only had that one fight with Bud, right? After
I
Earl.
think he fought Ugas. He boxed Ugas more.
No, no,
Sean Porter was on his boxing shit when he fought
Didn't
Ugas.
Sean Porter fought Ugas before he fought Earl? I think.
Was that before? No, I think
I
it was
believe
after.
so.
That's a
I
good
believe
question.
so because he won.
I gotta look at my
Yeah,
computer. I ain't got it with me right now, but I think they. You think so? Was it?
I believe so. We can look it up. But
Yeah,
I
because I
do
ain't got my
believe so.
computer. I thought he fought him
Pull it
after.
up right now.
Yeah, that's a good question though. That's a great question.
Yeah. The only person that took Sean Porter out of his game, or say he did it, you can say he didn't. Sean Porter wasn't himself, is when he fought Ugas. And do I think that Ugas is the bomb.com? He's so much greater than Sean. No, all I'm telling you is Sean wasn't his regular self. Everybody else, Sean Porter was his regular self. He didn't. So what adjustments? When they said Earl got adjustment, what motherfucking adjustment? Your adjustment's supposed to preclude or stop Sean from being Sean. That's what adjustments mean. Nullifying your opponent's ability to be how they are.
I think
What
Earl
adjustment?
gets so caught up in what he's doing to the body that he lets his guard down, and then he gets hit a lot when he lets his guard down. He's so busy
Yeah,
caught up in that.
he fought Ugas. Sean Porter fought Ugas March 9th, 2019, and turned around fought Spence September 28th, 2019. And then he fought Formella on August 22nd, 2020. And then he fought Bud, November 20th, 2021.
So is that before or after?
Well, he fought Ugas before March
Okay.
9th of 2019.
But
Earl
then
Spence, he fought him September 28th
oh,
of 2019.
okay, gotcha.
So it was just one fight before.
Gotcha.
So yeah. Because remember
Oh, it was the Formella fight that I saw him boxing more than. It must have been the
that
Formella fight.
Formella fight was bullshit, man. He won that easy. I was like, what is you doing, Sean? That ain't but Sean got this thing. Number one, Sean got one of the best chins boxing when he was active. Number one. And let me give him his props. He was at the Hall of Fame thing too, and I think they took the cast of his hand. But he might
No,
be wrong.
I don't think they did.
I thought I could have heard it wrong. But Sean Porter, one of the
You know
best
what he
chins
was
in
there
boxing,
doing though, right? You know what he was there doing though, right?
probably for his
Yeah,
podcast.
he was getting that business. Yeah, they had that podcast group set up. And that's kind of like what I like about Sean Porter. Like he's recreating himself, and he's always been like a good sport to the sport of boxing. Like I can't hate on that dude. That dude fought everybody, and he still got a positive sense of humor. Like he's just wanting to build his podcast and just
He be
let
on
it
this
forth.
shit sometimes.
You
He be
know?
on this shit sometimes because he be indecisive or he be instigating some shit. Like when he wanted to get some clickbait, I've seen him do it. Overall, like you said, if this is people livelihood, they making money. I ain't mad at him. Even when I heard on my boy channel, he had a guest on there the other day, and I forgot who the dude. I think called himself that dude or whatever. He was on the Mac Mile channel, and he was talking about he was dropping some science, and he was like, I was glad to see him on the channel. He was coming from the Charlo gym, and he was telling you what it really is,
Okay.
the behind the scenes or the parts about the boxing game, especially when it concerns Earl and them, what we don't know and don't understand. This motherfucker say there are fighters out there that will pay YouTube channels to big them up all day, every day. And I was like, I almost fell out my chair. I was
Damn.
like, it has stooped that low because I've heard people say it before.
Yeah.
And I'm not knocking nobody. I'm telling you guys what I heard out my mouth. I mean, out my ears. Destiny, good friend to the show. She have said several times, and nobody took what she said and ran with it. But she have said several times that there's a clip out there of Blu-ray kind of admitting to the fact that he was paid under the table to big up EJ. And I was like, huh? To something to that effect. But because I don't know nothing about it, y'all, I've not researched it. I've never watched Blu-ray channel or anything, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah,
And I know they got some shows that they use the word blues and something. I'm talking about the one
yeah.
who used to
I think I
train
saw
Earl
his show
Spence.
once.
I
Yeah, I
don't,
saw his show once.
I don't know. I can't tell you if it's true or not. I'm telling you, this is what she said, and I didn't take it and run with it because I have no way to prove that. I've actually tried to look for it. I can't prove it. And then when I'm looking at um, the old boy show the other night, and he said the guy says, some people pay for it, and he actually called somebody out by name. I won't do it because I won't call that person out by name, which I know and love him. But that's what he said, and I was
Yeah,
like, yeah, I don't know, and because I can't tell you what I don't know. So I leave that type of speculation alone because that's not pleasant to hear about somebody. That's not what you want to hear about. I about fell out my chair when I thought that people actually do that shit. I was like, what?
that's the
People
first I
do
ever
that?
heard of something like that. But that's like good to know, like that he was that close to someone who actually. That's like almost a fact, like a receipt, like you know what I mean? Like they actually pay people to like big them up with boxing.
He said this like a matter of fact. And I was
Yeah,
like, for real? I said, oh my goodness. Like I said, I almost fell out my chair. But again, I've
I
never
only
investigated. I've never even heard of some shit like this. You know what I'm
I'm the
saying?
type of
Like,
I'm the type of fan. They don't gotta pay me to do shit because all I know is like when Clarissa Shields had that all female card on Fight TV. You remember that card like maybe a year and a half ago?
barely,
With,
yeah.
with they had like Jamie Mitchell on there. That was like a showcase thing. That little girl, that bantamweight out of Floyd Mayweather gym, little Jamie Mitchell. She was on the undercard, and the heavyweight chick named Perkins was on the card. But Clarissa Shields threw that card on, and I bought that card. It was a $29.99 card, and I picked them all up. And I corresponded with Jamie Mitchell, and I told her how good she was, and I told her I would mention her on my home channel. My home channel is UGC Flame channel, so I would mention her here and there. She was a bantamweight, and then she said thank you, and I was trying to get her to come on the show here and there. Well, she would have came, but she's training. She was really
Mhm.
nice. She always used to talk back to me. Then she went on to beat that chick, Courtney, for the bantamweight championship. That was so cool to see her like get that bantamweight title, world title. She beat that Courtney chick. That chick who I think she's the chick that beat up the Ebony Bridges chick. You see what I'm saying? Like Jamie Mitchell black too, mind you. And she's a really petite little chick, and she can fight. That little girl can fight.
I
So
would
it was
say
cool to
this,
see Clarissa big that girl up and give her that stage. You know what I mean?
that's cool and everything. It should be bigging everybody up and
Yeah,
all that. But we've been on 3 hours, and all I've talked about was the Hall of Fame. I said,
yeah,
I'm just reminding folks. The question was, can we say Bud is a Hall of Famer? I'm never going to talk about it like maybe he will be in the future. He will be. I'm gonna talk about it like the nigga is point blank because I've read what they do when they take a cast and they take cast of future inductees. That's the whole point of taking the cast of the hand. So if the Hall of Fame knows something more than us, then oh well. It shout outs to all the people who was inducted, all of them. It was well
that's what's
deserved, and
congratulations.
if you wasn't a legend before, your ass is one now. And to whoever think that it was a hate on Earl Fest, I don't know what to tell you because I didn't. I really watched as many clips as I could. I didn't see it. For somebody to give constructive criticism, that's not hating. And then they also praised him in the same breath. So
Yeah,
I really don't see where that came from. And guess what? I don't have your eyes. You can see it how you see it, and I respect that. But I didn't see it like that. And to Earl Spence and his fans, don't run with it. It's gonna be looking bad on your part. Don't run with that fuck them all shit. Because
please don't.
everybody don't supposed to fucking bow down to Earl. They can have their own mind. That's all I had. You got anything, Ron?
You know what? Only thing I can say is you are totally 100% right. It's a bad look. Let's not make it look worse by like trying to make all of those guys who got into the Hall of Fame, all of the people that we grew up with, all the people that we enjoy as a boxing unit, like family, to watch them do what they do. Don't jeopardize. Don't sit there and diminish what they did, all because of one boxer that you praise over all of those gladiators. That's a lot of legendary people in that building. Don't do it.
Everybody can't be wrong in their assessment. Everybody's saying the same thing. And it's not an echo chamber. People are really saying the same thing. Like I would tell Bud right now, the keys to victory is when it comes to people like a Laura or Earl, the biggest thing to me that you take away, the first and foremost thing, take away their stance. Because without their stance, they can't hover. They can't ride the brakes, as I call it. Take away their stance. So they halfway is almost like, when you play Family Feud or something, and then they
Yeah.
said top answers on the board, and they be like, name whatever, and the dude got his hand right over top of the damn buzzer when it should be flat on the table. That's what
I
they
remember
doing.
that.
That's what
Yeah.
people. That's what I mean by hovering. You
They
kind of
jumping
sitting
out
on
there.
your punches,
Yeah.
huh?
It's like they kind of panicking and jumping on the button without thinking about it.
Yeah,
Like
they
first, like
sitting on their punches already, not all the way, but already. That's why when Earl throw his thudding punches, they be effective, and people let him get away with it. When Earl's get in front of you and he bend down and he do that body work like everybody always say, he do go low. Man, he does do that. Y'all know I've said that before. But
I was
beside that,
thinking about that
he's
today,
snatching that
listening.
body. Guess what? Face wide open.
Yeah,
A fighter like Terrence can fire off something. And you can't say Earl don't get hit and get hit hard. You can't
he
say that
does.
because
He does.
Ugas hurt him, Danny hurt him, and that it was an African dude he fought before it hurt him,
Latte.
Marte.
Yeah.
But Earl got himself together and came back. But he did get hurt. Now I can't say that, but their biggest thing, Mean Machine knocked Bud down. Motherfucking what's his name? The Gamboa. He
Gamboa.
hurt Bud or whatever. That's what you guys say all the time. But Earl Spence get hurt too.
A lot.
And then they'll say, "Oh, there's so much coming back from a car crash." So we comparing injuries now because Bud got shot in the back of his head. Which one is worse? I don't answer that. That's a rhetorical question.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
like that's how I feel. Y'all penalizing this dude, and you don't even know you're doing it. I don't penalize, but I don't talk about Bud every day. I mean, he could come up. I like talking about him. It's fun.
I enjoy the days that I don't have to talk about them, but then I love the days when I do.
Exactly.
It goes both
Exactly.
ways when it comes to him. 'Cause I just enjoy the sport, him as a person, and what he stands for and how he fights. So I guess that's the motivation of, yeah, okay, it's cool to talk about Bud today, but like you said, like if it was a day when it's gonna shed a bad light on him, I don't enjoy talking about him in a bad light because somebody else said something bad about him. You know what I
I
mean?
didn't even I didn't even say everything that I wrote down. I tried to give you gist, but the gist was the Hall of Fame was this weekend. Shout out to them, congratulations, well deserved to all the inductees and everything. As far as I'm concerned, Bud is a Hall of Famer now today. He is, in my opinion, and they think so too because they took a cast of his list. Number one, and no, there wasn't hate at the Hall of Fame on EJ. Nobody hates him. In fact, a
No.
lot of people like him. They praise, in my opinion. That's what I saw. Somebody else sees something different. That's what they see. I didn't see that. But at the end of the day, your response to people's assessment, as if they can't have an assessment that's the only assessment they can have is one that's favorable to you. You're showing your cards. You're showing what when I be saying you cliquish, girl. When I be saying you do that silly shit, you start the shit. When I be like attitude reflect leadership, this is what I'm talking about. You see his attitude? See, that's how he leads. That's his attitude. And watch what the fans do and pick it up and go further than what he did. Attitude reflects leadership. This is some Earl Spence gotta, understand whether you want it to be or not, you're a leader. So check your attitude. That's
Great
all I had.
points. Great points, Boxing Fans Talk TV. God bless Miss T. I enjoyed being on tonight.
Thank you, thank you for joining me, and thank everybody else for joining me. Don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe. Like I was gonna just wait till the mob, but I was like, man, this shit gonna be old news by tomorrow. Let me get out here, and I'm sorry for being late because I'm never on this late. But again, my internet wasn't cooperating tonight, so I was like, once it did, I just jumped on. Uh, like and
Appreciate it.
subscribe if you haven't already, and when you look at the replay, go ahead and make a comment. Leave a comment. I read them and I listen, but I'm always gonna be me. So, peace out. You know better, you do better. Peace, Ron. Thank you for joining.
Great. See you later, Queen.